राधा रानी उठी हबे ध्रुव अति बोली तो माता ध्रुव अति बोली तो माता श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती सची सुत प्रिय अति कृष्ण सेवाय जार तुले ना श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती सची सुत प्रिय अति कृष्ण सेवाय जार तुलना से महंत गुरु जगते रे मध्ये गुरु कृष्ण भक्ति दे थाए था से महंत गुरु जगते रे मध्ये गुरु कृष्ण भक्ति दे थाए था तार इच्छा बलवान पाशाते ते तातान मोय जाते गौरांगेर ना तार इच्छा बलवान पाशाते ते तातान मोय जाते गौरांगेर ना पृथ्वी ते नगरादि समुद्र नगर नदी सकले ये बोले कृष्ण ना नगरादि समुद्र नगर नदी सकले बोले कृष्ण तवाले आनंद होए तबे होए दिग्विजय चैतन्य कृपा अतिशय ताले आनंद होए तबे होए दिग्विजय चैतन्य कृपा अतिशय दुष्ट जत दुखी जगते सभाए सुखी वैष्णवेर इच्छा पूर्ण होया जष्ट दुखी जगते सभाए सुखी वैष्णवेर इच्छा पूर्ण होया कार्य जे कोरी बारे आज्ञा जदी दीनो मोरे योग्य नाही अति दीनहीना जे कार्य जे कोरी बारे आगे जदी दिलो मोरे योग्य नाही अति दीनहीना ताई से तुम्हार कृपा मागिते अनुरूपा आजी तुम्ही सवार प्रवीणा ताई से तुम्हार कृपा मागिते अनुरूपा आजी तुम्ही सवार प्रवीणा तुमसे शक्ति पेले गुरु सेवा वस्तु मिले जीवन सार्थक जदि होय तुमसे शक्ति पेले गुरु सेवा वस्तु मिले जीवन सार्थक जदि होय से सेवा पाइले तहाले सुखी हले तब संग भाग्य ते मिलो से सेवा पाइले तहाले सुखी हले तब संग भाग्य ते मिलो एवं जन्म निपतितं प्रभवाहि कूपे एवं जन्म निपतितं प्रभवाहि कूपे कामादिकाम अनुय प्रपतन प्रसंगात् कामादिकाम अनुय प्रपतन प्रसंगात् कृत्वात्मसात् सुरर्षिणा भगवन् गृहीतः कृत्वात्मसात् सुरर्षिणा भगवन् गृहीतः सोहम कथम न सुसृजे तव वृत्त सेवा सोहम कथम न विसृजे तव वृत्त सेवा तुम्ही मोर चीर साथी भूलिया मायार लाती खाई अच्छी जन्म जन्मांतरे तुम्ही मोर चीर साथी भूलिया मायार लाती खाई अच्छी जन्म जन्मांतरे आजी पुन एसु जो जदि होय जोगा जोग तब पारी तूने मेरी बारी आजी पूर्ण एसु जो जदि होय जोगा जोग तब पारी तूने मेरी बारी तुम्हारे मिलन भाई आभा से सुख पाए गोचारण गुरी दिन भोर तुम्हारा मिलन भाई आभर से सुख पाए गोचारण गुरी दिन भोर कत बने छुट्टा छुट्टी बने खाए लुट्टा लुट्टी से दिन कबे हबे मोरा कट बने छुट्टा छुट्टी बने खाए लुट्टा लुट्टी से दिन कबे हबे मोरा आज से सुविधा हाल तुम्हार स्मरण भेल परो आश डाकिला मता आज से सुविधा हाल तुम्हार स्मरण भेल परो आश डाकिला मता आमी तुम्हार नित्य दासाई कोरी के तो आश तुमा बिना अन्य गति न আমি তোমার নিত্যদাস তাই করি এত আশ তোমা বিনা অন্য গতি নাই কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই কৃষ্ণ তবে পুণ্য হবে ভাই কৃষ্ণ তবে পুণ্য হবে ভাই কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই पुण्य करिबे जाबे राधा रानी सुखी हबे धुआ अति बोली तो माता पुण्य करिबे जाबे राधा रानी सुखी हबे धुआ अति बोली तो माता हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining the last session of ISKCON Disciples course. आखिरी वाला session है. And we have sung the song, very beautiful song, Krishna Tava Punya Have Bhai. This is written by His Divine Grace, Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada has written this song, and he's written this song while on board on a Jalduta ship with Jalduta diary. Very special song. So how many of you sung this song before? Song. I'll share a link with you. Okay. This is also another important song. All of us, we should by heart this song. So what all things I told to remember? है ना? क्या by heart करने बोला मैंने आपको? कल कौन सा song था? By heart नहीं, but regular at least पढ़ सकते हैं. कौन सा song था वो? What was that song? Yes. आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. Yes.
Guru Parampara song.
Yes. Who's written that song? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written that song. This is song. There are two songs of Srila Prabhupada very famous. What are those two songs?
Markine Bhagavad Dharma and this one.
Yes, Markine Bhagavad Dharma and this Krishna Tava Punya Have Bhai. Srila Prabhupada has written more songs, but these two songs are very, very famous. They represent the mood of Srila Prabhupada. What is inner consciousness of Srila Prabhupada? What was his particular bhav when he was on board on Jalduta ship? Why he got so much success? We can understand from Srila Prabhupada's mood. So mood is very specifically visible here in these songs. So we'll read the meaning. I'll share this song with you. Okay, the link, and you can open in your own place, mobile. Okay. I'm posting the link in the chat here. Okay, I posted the link there. Can you please open that? And one by one we can read the meaning. Yes, who's starting? So, by the way, the dictum from BVRV, Bhaktivedanta Raj Vidyalaya, is that you must have your cameras on in your part of this session, because they want to mark your attendance only when your cameras are on. So I get this message from them that I should request all of you to have your cameras on. Please do that. And let's start reading the meaning. Who's going to start? Quick, we don't have so much time. Yes. अर्थ पढ़िए कृपया, अनम्यूट करके.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Read, yeah. First two, please read quickly.
Yeah, translation. First, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is a very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of her mother Suchi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master, most magnanimous within this universe, who bestows devotion to Krishna in various places throughout the world.
Yes, Prabhu.
Should I continue for a second?
No, I couldn't. Throughout the world, okay, you read. No, you didn't read the refrain. No, first one, the refrain. Oh, brothers, oh, brother.
Oh, refrain, sir. Oh, brothers, oh, brother. The Supreme Lord Krishna will bestow virtue upon you, but he will do this only when Srimati Radharani first becomes pleased with you. This I surely declare to you.
Srila Prabhupada, being a very intimate devotee of Shri Radha and Krishna, actually, the secret of success in devotion life, only when Radharani bestows her mercy, then we'll get the mercy of Krishna. And then he's talking about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sachi Sutta Priyati, Tar Ichha Balavan, Paschatyati Tanta, Koi Jati Gaurangira. जाने से पहले बोल रहे हो. Before going to America, before going to the West, Srila Prabhupada is predicting why this Krishna consciousness movement is going to spread. Because my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is very dear to Lord Gauranga. And Tara Ichha Balvan, and he has got a strong desire. Satyam Vidatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. Vyaptam Bhuteshu Upanishadmana. That the job of the Lord is Satyam Vidatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. Nijabhritya, the servant of the Lord, whatever he says, Bhashitam, Satyam Vidatum, that is the job of the Lord, that he has to fulfill that desire. Now, it is a strong desire of my spiritual master, who is so dear to the Lord. What is his desire? That Lord Gauranga's name should spread. Asamudra Nada Nadi. Everywhere. No Gaya Jati, Boy Jati Gaurangira Naam. That Prithivadi Nagaradi, Asamudra Nada Nadi. Sakale Hoy Bole Krishna. Every place. Taricha Balavan, Pashyate Titanta, Boy Jati Gaurangira. So every place in the West, mountains and rivers, in every country to country, the name of Lord Gauranga should spread. That is his desire. And that's his desire. That's what's going to happen. We'll read the second.
Second, his desire is very powerful, and thus he is causing the holy name of Lord Gauranga to spread throughout all the countries of the Western world. In all the cities, towns, and villages on the earth, extending to all the oceans, rivers, and streams, everyone may chant the names of Krishna and Rama.
Read one more.
Third, this all direction will be conquered by a flood of transcendental ecstasy, flowing with the excessive mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When all the miserable living entities that have been corrupted by Maya become happy, then the Vaishnava's desires is fulfilled.
Yes. What is Vaishnava desire? That this holy name should spread everywhere. Tahale Anand Tabe Hoy Digvijay Chaitanya Kripatish. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kripa will spread, Maya Dushta Jatadukhi, Sakkate Sak, Sabai Sukhi, Vaishnava Richa Purvaya. जब माया दुखी हो जाएगी, And Jagate Savai Sukha, and everybody becomes happy in Krishna consciousness. Then his desire will be complete. Yes. Read further. Who will read? Yeah.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please read. Yeah.
Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am unworthy to do it, being very fallen and incompetent. That being the case, O Lord Krishna, your mercy is today arising in a befitting manner to make me become worthy, for you are the wisest of all.
This is the mood of Srila Prabhupada, that in both of these prayers, Bhakti nahi, Veda nahi. Although he ordered me to preach in the West, but I neither have devotion and I neither have any kind of knowledge. Srila Prabhupada in other song he says, right? And in this song also he's telling actually that Agya Jadi Dilo More, although you have given me order to preach actually, but I have no qualification. I have no qualification. Say Share Poribare, Agya Jadi Dilo More, Jogya nahi ati di nahi. Say se Tumar Kripa Magite Chi Anurupa, Aji Tumi Sabar Praveen. And that's why I'm begging you the mercy, Lord. Only by your power it can happen, not my power. So you can understand even in that song, Srila Prabhupada says actually that Krishna, I don't know why you got me here. But since you got me here, that means you got some work to fulfill. And that's why you got me here. Krishna Tabe Punha, that other song is there, right? Markine Bhagavad Dharma. Here he says, Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada himself actually tried so hard. He went to Sumati Morarji, tried for P-form, for passport, arranged his lodging, boarding, everything Srila Prabhupada did. But he says that, Krishna, you got me here actually. You got some plan. So that is the consciousness of pure devotee, that he sees everything connected to Krishna. He sees his Krishna desire. Srila Prabhupada is giving full credit to Krishna actually for bringing him to the West. He's not thinking that I come because of my own desire. No, Krishna has got me here. And he's asking, begging Krishna here that Krishna, please give me your mercy. Only by your power I can. Your mercy I can do something. Read further, fifth one.
If you bestow your divine power, then one attains the factual substance, which is service to the spiritual master, and life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes truly satisfied and ultimately received your association due to good fortune.
So what is the result of Krishna's mercy? What is mentioned here? To get the service to spiritual master is actual mercy of Krishna. When somebody gets the mercy of the Lord, then one attains the factual substance, which is service to the spiritual master. And his life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes truly satisfied and ultimately receive your association to the good fortune. So by Krishna's mercy, actually we get association of spiritual master. Read further, sixth one. We'll read now.
As stated by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Narsimha.
Mataji will read, yeah.
As stated by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Narsimha Dev in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.28, thus, by associating with material desires one after another, I was following the general populace by falling into a blind well full of snakes. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the great sage Narad Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve the transcendental position similar to his own. How could I ever leave the service of your servant?
Yes, what a disciple wants. Even Supreme Lord come in front of you and he asks you, let's go. We are going back home, back to God. A disciple, a true disciple will say, my service to my spiritual master is not yet complete. Like the Prahlad Maharaj offered a benediction, immediately can attend liberation. But Narad Muni's service is not complete. How could I ever leave the service of your servant? He has accepted me. I was fallen in a blind well. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamami kamame prapatam. And I was infested with all those desires. But krutvatmasa surashina bhagwan guitam. Your disciple has accepted me. Your disciple has taken me in his fold. And he has made me into Vaishnava. He has given me a bhakti. How can I leave his service? I cannot leave his service. That is the mood of a devotee actually. That he always wants to be servant of a servant of a servant. He doesn't want to jump and directly get the service of the Lord. That is a mode of Manjaris. You find that they never want to directly serve Krishna. They always want to serve through medium of gopis. Read further. All our acharyas actually Manjaris in spiritual world. Right? Yes, read further. 7th.
O Lord Krishna, my eternal companion, forgetting you, I have suffered the kicking of Maya, birth of birth. If today the chance to meet you occurs again, surely I will be able to join you.
Yes. Read further. Who will read? 8th one.
Oh my dear brother, in your company I will experience great joy once again. Wandering about the pastures and fields, I will pass the entire day with you in tending the cows, joking with you and frolicking throughout so many forests of Braj. I will enjoy pastimes of stealing and eating one another's lunch. When, oh, when will that day be mine?
And 9th one. Who will read? Can somebody read the 9th one?
Today, that remembrance of being with you came to me in a very nice way. Feeling great longing, I called out for you, O Lord Krishna. Only because I am your eternal servant do I desire your association so much. Except for you, I have no other refuge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was boarded on a Jalduta ship, and today is remembering Krishna, and the great longing is calling out. Because I am your eternal servant, do I desire your association so much, except you, I have no other refuge. So this is very, very special mode of Srila Prabhupada. So the followers of Srila Prabhupada, they need to understand what is the mode of Srila Prabhupada. And when Prabhupada is writing this, devotees, they found these poems, this Krishna Tabe Punya Vibhai, this poem and another poem, Bado Kripa Koile Krishna Dhamena Prati, Markine Bhagavad Dharma poem. They found it many years later. It's not that so many devotees are going to read. No, they're going to read this. It is the internal mood of Srila Prabhupada, which is presenting here. We can understand his consciousness. And many things become very clear here. We are discussing about how our dealing should be there with spiritual master, being a disciple, and how we need to function in ISKCON, being a disciple in a Guru Parampara. This is the mood that Srila Prabhupada is representing, that I am most fallen. I have no qualification. Krishna has brought me here. But this is my spiritual master desire. I have total faith in the words of my spiritual master. So this is a qualification of a disciple to be successful, that he has a total faith, implicit faith in the words of spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, because he has such implicit faith and he always considered the order of spiritual master as his life and soul. He was always associating with his spiritual master. He was never separated from his spiritual master. He always felt the presence of his spiritual master, protective presence of his spiritual master. So this is very special mood of Srila Prabhupada. Yes. So we'll start with the prayers and then we'll continue. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Yam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalitan Sri Vishakhan Vitam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dahitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha माधुर्युल प्रेमाढ्य श्री रूपानुगभक्तित श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्धा पप सिद्धांत ध्वांतहारिणे। नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्ते विप्रलम्बर साम्बोधे पादामुजायते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते। गौराविर्भाव भूमेस्तम निर्देश सजन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वसुपदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहनो। दिव्य वृंदावन कल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद राधा श्री गोविंद देव्यो पृष्ठालिभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान सरसारंभी वंशी भट तटस्थित कर्शन वेणु गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुना तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining on the second day. This fourth day actually on this course, and I would like to request you, please recall a few points which we discussed yesterday. Let's have a quick recap of yesterday's session, and then we'll move forward. Yes, what did you learn yesterday? You can raise your hand also. You can express yourself. Yes, Nivedita Mataji, please share.
Prabhuji, yesterday we discussed about why Srila Prabhupada is called preeminent Shiksha Guru of ISKCON.
Why?
Because whoever comes to ISKCON first, they should consider Prabhupada as their first Shiksha Guru.
By the way, what do you mean by preeminent?
Preeminent is
what is the literal meaning of preeminent? Did you search it? Did you know? Can anybody tell what is the meaning of preeminent? हम सब रोज बोल रहे preeminent शिक्षा गुरु preeminent शिक्षा गुरु. What do you mean by preeminent?
it is like I think it is generally for all like first Shiksha.
No, not I think. ISKCON, I think what is not allowed in ISKCON. Everything has to be as it is. I think is allowed in some places, but right now we need a little meaning. Yes. What is preeminent?
मुझे हम प्रभुपाद जी को रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते मतलब.
I'm asking what is a preeminent meaning, literal meaning given in dictionary. Please read. You should know that, right? We are using this term so many times. Unless we know what does it mean, what is the use of using this term? Yes. What do you see? Devotees time come. Fatafat answer karna hai. Surpassing all others, very distinguished.
Greatest in importance. Greatest in importance.
Yes, greatest Shiksha Guru, surpassing all other gurus. First of all, yesterday we learned our parampara is not a Diksha parampara, our parampara is Shiksha parampara. Okay, I learned my parampara is Shiksha parampara. After learning that my parampara is Shiksha parampara, I must know who is my Shiksha Guru among all the Shiksha Guru. Okay, I learned there can be many Shiksha Gurus. Okay, among all many Shiksha Gurus, who is the greatest Shiksha Guru, surpassing all other Shiksha Gurus? He is Srila Prabhupada. So by parampara, by Shiksha Guru parampara, we are all connected to Srila Prabhupada directly. But we should not violate the principle of initiation. Okay. Yeah. So we must follow the principle which is coming out, which is given in scripture. That's why we take initiation from a spiritual master, and we are serious about that. He is also the living guru. Is very important to understand mood of Srila Prabhupada and helping us to follow the words of Srila Prabhupada. And by his own example, we're going to learn. We can clarify. So all other Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, they're all important. At the same time, for all ISKCON devotees, for all time to come, they are going to have a direct relationship with Srila Prabhupada as their Shiksha Guru. And Shiksha Guru, our parampara, Shiksha parampara. And this is the only one thing which is going to help us remain united. If we accept Srila Prabhupada as our preeminent Shiksha Guru, everyone accepts Srila Prabhupada as my most prominent Shiksha Guru, then there won't be any factions. This is a highlight, this main point of this whole discussion. Again, we're going to have it today. Right? We'll chant further. Let's you speak these points actually. Yes, who would like to share? Shiv Sundar Bhuya. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavatam. Prabhuji, yesterday you told about the Bani Seva and Bapu Seva, like how we are not able to associate with the spiritual master personally. Most of the time, we must take care of Bani Seva, follow his instructions properly, and how it is safer, because in our condition stage, there is a great chance of committing offenses if we are we may see the spiritual master materially, and so many rules and regulations that you discussed, I think around 10 or 12 points.
So actually Vani Seva helps for Vapu Seva, because Vani, you understand what is the importance of spiritual master, how to serve him. And through Vani, then we can serve him. Vapu is also very important. Need not neglect that. Whenever there is opportunity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu served his spiritual master. Ishwarpuri, him personally called him as home and cooked for him, served him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally edited his book. No, he served directly. His body also is served and his instruction is served. What is the instruction to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That you just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. My Guru Maharaj told me just chant, and he chanted it. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says actually. That he understood me to be grateful, and he just told me that you just chant this Hare Krishna Mantra. Okay, so both are important. Specifically, I remember past time of Giriraj Swami Maharaj, when Srila Prabhupada was very sick, very ill. That time he couldn't even move, so he had this seva of getting the pot and putting it. When Srila Prabhupada wanted to pass urine to, and then he was cleaning, the whole thing. And Srila Giriraj Maharaj mentioned that I, just by doing this service, actually I felt that I had done years of spiritual advancement, doing this such humble service to Srila Prabhupada. So this is also very important when you get to do Vapu Seva. But Vapu Seva is limited; only a few people can do it, and it is limited to time. Right? We cannot do it all time. Only when spiritual master presence is there, we can do that. Only a few people. But Vani Seva is it. We can always do that Vani Seva. Yes, thank you, Prabhu, for sharing. Any other point we discussed yesterday?
Prabhuji, etiquettes in front of Guru Maharaj. Etiquette for disciple.
Yes. I would like to mention a few etiquettes.
Those are given from Hari Bhakti Vilas. One should not leave the spiritual master's presence without asking for permission, and one should not be disrespectful in front of him.
By the way, spiritual master means what? Spiritual master means what?
Diksha Guru. Sorry, I mean spiritual master.
Prabhuji, representative of God.
Yes, so who all are representatives of God? रामायण पढ़ने के बाद सीता कौन है? इतना सब. When we are telling spiritual master, what does it mean?
Prabhuji, both Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru.
Yes, please remember this fact. It's not only your Diksha Guru. It's both your Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. So all these etiquettes, nahi mere Guru Maharaj aayenge tab ye sari etiquette. Tum kaun hai to? Who are you? No. Right? सुन लिया एक बार बैठ के तो हो गया ना, ऐसा नहीं. We accept, right? When we regularly inspired by devotee, when we are learning regular teachings, we also follow these etiquettes with our Shiksha Guru equally, right? How many Shiksha Gurus can be there?
Many.
Yeah, there can be many Shiksha Gurus, not only one Shiksha Guru. And we offer respect. The dealings are different, but yeah, we offer respect, based on our commitment, how much personally that devotee has contributed to our life. We offer our respects. So specifically, how much how we offer our respects to different devotees, that is mentioned in the 5th shloka of Nectar of Instruction. We're not going to that, but you can refer that Nectar of Instruction 5th shloka. So there are many instructions given, etiquettes. Okay, read Mataji, few etiquettes. Ishita Mataji is clear now. Guru means who?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Who? Guru means?
Both Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru.
Yeah,
They
Shiksha Guru.
both are.
Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Read. Tell further, Mataji. 1 or 2 points you can tell. What kind of etiquette you follow?
Prabhuji, myself?
Yes, tell.
Prabhuji, one should not be disrespectful in front of the spiritual master. He should not yawn or laugh or talk loudly in front of
Laugh
spiritual.
means not derogatively laugh. ऐसे नहीं कि भाई
Yes,
एकदम
Prabhuji.
बुढ़ा बन बैठे हो आप एकदम Guru
Yes, Prabhuji.
making joke and making Srila Prabhupada was so jolly and always making people.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's so much fun, Srila Prabhupada, right? So laugh here means one should not derogatively looking at the body of spiritual master. Again, Nectar of Instruction 6th shloka actually explains to us that we should never take spiritual master body as a mundane, right? There are, like it's mentioned, like there is a bubbles and dirt in the water of Ganges, but we never see that. We accept Ganges water is always transcendental. Similarly, sometimes there are defects in the body of spiritual master, but we should never take the body of spiritual master as an ordinary body. We should always understand that he's transcendently situated, being engaged always in the service of the Lord. Okay. Yes. What else did we learn yesterday?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we learned the importance of Guru Puja.
What is that importance?
Like the point was emphasized that all the disciples from different spiritual master comes together and offer their gratitude to Prabhupada. So that represents the unity of ISKCON.
Yeah, the main point we discussed when we discussed that was that every day we offer Srila Prabhupada this Guru Puja like a Vyas Puja day, because Srila Prabhupada is founder Acharya of ISKCON. So this very specific standard of daily worship is specifically reserved, common public daily worship is reserved for Srila Prabhupada. Not all the Gurus receive the Vyas Puja every day or Guru Puja every day. But Srila Prabhupada is no ordinary Acharya, he is a founder Acharya. He is direct. He's representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has established this mission. Senapati Bhakti. So that's why we have a daily, to highlight his unique position in our Sampradaya, we have a daily Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada. Any other point we discussed yesterday? Connected to this, we discussed many points, but we're just skimming through the highlights. Yes. What else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So the order of the spiritual master should be the life and soul for the disciples. Not only he should meditate on the order, but also he should think of how to execute the means and ways how to execute those orders.
Right. We should always consider how can I execute the order of my spiritual master. That should be the prime focus of a disciple. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Any more? In Bhagavatam, there is shloka. It's the Uttamas Chintitam Kuriya. The best disciple, he understands the mind of spiritual master. Without even telling, he will do the service. And Madhyamas, the middle, not if somebody not best disciple, lesser than best, what he'll do? At least he will follow as soon as the order is given, he'll follow the order as it is. But the third class disciple will never follow the order of spiritual master. Right. It mentions like that. So we should follow the order of spiritual master. Yes. What else? Any 1 or 2 more points would like to share what we learned yesterday?
So we learned about certain Vaishnav etiquettes, such as respecting the other Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, apart from our Shiksha Gurus and Diksha Gurus. Apart from that, addressing Maharaj, our spiritual master, always by using His Holiness.
Yes, honorific titles we use. Yes, yes. Thank you, Guru. Any more point? One very important point we discussed.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, we discussed about the. Okay, Prabhuji, continue.
Okay, आप read कीजिए.
Prabhuji, we discussed about the service towards the ISKCON and service towards Guru.
Yes. So it's called as two parallel lines of authority. Which are two parallel lines of authority? Which are two authorities? One is the
managerial authority and spiritual authority.
Yes, yes. Both service is important, and even service to spiritual. When we serve our managers, actually we are also serving our Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada has asked all spiritual masters, all devotees in ISKCON, he has asked all disciples to cooperate with GBC, to work under the guidance of GBC. So that means your spiritual master is also under GBC. You know, he's, as long as he's carrying out the instruction of GBC, he's following his spiritual master. Whom we should follow? We should follow a spiritual master who follows his own spiritual master. If there is a spiritual master who doesn't follow his spiritual master, that means he's fallen. If somebody doesn't follow his guru, what do you consider that person as? So when Srila Prabhupada says that all his disciples should follow GBC, that means your spiritual masters are supposed to follow GBC. Your means ours, any spiritual master. Okay? So all spiritual masters in ISKCON, they guide under the direction of GBC. And then when there is a conflict, of course, they can discuss and they can sort it out. But these are two parallel lines of authority. And GBC is institute, like they're overseeing the temples, and we get service, through managerial authority. And when we follow that service, actually, we are also serving our spiritual master, because spiritual master is also committed to the service of ISKCON as a movement. Right? So service to temple is not different from service to spiritual master. This is also another point we need to understand. Yes. So because the disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, disciples, they didn't follow the order of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that they should form a GBC body, and they became individual acharyas. And that's why it became asar. Asar means uska koi effect nahi raha. The Gaudiya mission preaching totally failed. They were sitting in their own matha. They were in their matha, very little success, preaching success. That was not what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, before he went, actually, he started GBC system, 1972 something. And he himself started attending the GBC meeting as a part of the GBC. And he was taking to vote, and Srila Prabhupada also would raise his hand, voting. Not that he will give order. So I'm telling that's why it should be done. No. It's a collective voting, and Srila Prabhupada will raise his hand as one of the members of GBC. So Srila Prabhupada, so that his disciples should get the habit of following GBC, and GBC should get understanding how to manage the society. He started it many years before he passed away in 72 something, and then Srila Prabhupada took it forward. GBC took it forward after Srila Prabhupada departure. Yes, and that's how ISKCON is united. Although so many ISKCON, some mishaps have happened actually. Some spiritual masters they fell, and they couldn't continue. Some sannyasis, they given up. Many sannyasis they given up their vows actually. Initially, earlier part, not now. In many years recently, there has been no history, very little history probably. That somebody has to give up their sannyas from. But it happened in the beginning because they were very young. And Srila Prabhupada had given them sannyas for preaching sect. But ISKCON didn't stop. Why? Because of GBC. Srila Prabhupada instituted GBC, and because we followed because GBC was always there at the helm, ISKCON remained united, and our preaching is expanding and expanding more and more. Yes. What is the advantage for Guru to follow GBC? Can you tell a few points? What is the advantage for a Guru to follow GBC? Guru को क्या फायदा है वो GBC को follow करेंगे? Yes.
प्रभु yesterday आपने एक पॉइंट बोला था कि प्रभुपाद को कोई एक मतलब प्रभुपाद के ऑर्डर किसी ने माने नहीं थे. So प्रभुपाद बोले कि if you are not following GBC and you are telling you are मतलब कोई मतलब नहीं है. अगर तुम GBC को मान नहीं रहे तो you are not following my order. So in this way, if
Right.
a guru
So
is not
if
following
somebody follows GBC, they get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. They're following Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Any other things practically, the devotee gets advantage when they follow GBC. When the gurus follow GBC, what advantage they get?
There'll be balance between manager authority and spiritual authority.
What the advantage the guru will get when they follow GBC and its called structure?
Prabhuji, it will bind the society internationally rather than locally.
Yes, otherwise you'll have only your temple. Chalo mera temple, usme preaching kar. Abhi Guru Maharaj, there's so many preaching opportunities. They can go all over the world, and the preaching programs are organized by local temples which are functioning under GBC directions. They get so much preaching opportunity. Prabhuji has mentioned here, Guru remain humble as he follows authority, and any deviation will be checked. Guru will remain humble because they'll also understand that we are under somebody, we're not independent authority. And they remain accountable. And because they remain accountable to higher body, there is more chance that they are safe on the spiritual path, because GBC is planning so many sanghas. There's a sangha for gurus and sannyasis of ISKCON. It's created by this opportunity, is created by GBC. The whole thing planned, managed by GBC. So it creates so many opportunities. That accountability brings, when you're accountable to somebody, then you're careful, you're vigilant, and then you don't fall. So that helps spiritual masters. Any other thing? It's any other thing? It's like raising a child when you're a nuclear family and a joint family, right? It's difficult when you're a nuclear family to raise a child. You have to put so much attention. But gurus, their disciples may be anywhere, and the ISKCON is taking care of disciples. ISKCON is giving program, ISKCON is giving teaching, ISKCON is arranging festivals. Everything ISKCON is arranging. The holy places are arranged by ISKCON. So when you birth to disciples, because making disciples also giving a birth. Yesterday we learned, right? Shauta birth. So spiritual masters can be carefree that their disciples are well taken care. Otherwise, like you make a disciple, then it's a responsibility of a spiritual master to take them back to God. And there's no institutional structure, then he has to make sure that every disciple is properly taken care. It's not easy, right? But ISKCON gives so much facility, opportunity for disciples. Their care is taken by local temples. So many educational programs happen, so many Shiksha Gurus are involved. And spiritual master they can be more free to go more and more places and share Krishna consciousness. Right? Okay. Last, anyone would like to share anything? One to go sharing. Otherwise, we are moving forward. We shouldn't impose our position and status on our spiritual master. Okay. It's one of the etiquettes. Main point, any main point. Did you learn about Ritvik theory? Did you discuss that point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Why Ritvik system is wrong? 1 or 2 points regarding that. What did you learn?
Prabhuji, there is no evidences, any shastric evidences as well as any examples that after Guru leaves, the Ritvik theories would be work. And also Prabhuji is means disrespecting the living Vaishnavas, means not creating a faith on the living Vaishnavas. And And through the
Yeah. Any more point?
They will follow only Prabhupada, but they are not following the living disciples of Prabhupada.
Yes. So why Ritviks are wrong?
Prabhuji, there means
What is fundamental flaw?
Prabhuji, it means they are saying that Prabhupada cannot create any pure devotees. That
Right. So what is
one
use
can.
of, yeah, what is use of taking shelter of Prabhupada? If Prabhupada couldn't create any single pure devotee disciple, and also their understanding is that spiritual master should only be a pure devotee, liberated soul. But Srila Prabhupada mentions in Nectar of Instruction that a spiritual master, maybe Kanishtadhikari also can give initiation. Kanishtadhikari, even Madhyamadhikari. But he can make disciple only advance up to the point he is advanced. He cannot make him advance further than him. Right? So disciple should be careful. But there is no ban on any devotee to give initiation. Kanishtadhikari Srila Prabhupada mentions. But their fundamental theory, you're not pure, so you cannot give initiation. No. Where it is mentioned in scriptures. Srila Prabhupada himself has said, Kanishtadhikari can give initiation. Another point is that a spiritual master should have right to reject if you don't want to initiate. How many times Loknath Goswami rejected Narottam Das Thakur? How many times Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj rejected Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur before accepting him? Even Loknath Goswami later accepted Narottam Das Thakur, but many times they rejected in the beginning. So here who will reject? If Guru is not present, how you judge? Who take a responsibility for the disciple to take all the karma and to take him back home back to God? So fundamentally, this is very flawed. This Ritvik theory. Okay. Yes. So thank you very much for sharing all this beautiful point. We'll start with our today's discussion. Please open your handbook. Where were we yesterday?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Any question?
Prabhuji, like the Ritvik theory that we are discussing, can we add one point that in our conditioned state, we need to be accountable to a living person. Like we are telling that I am taking initiation from a guru who has already gone to spiritual world. And we have, in our impure state, we do not have connection with him. We cannot, we are not reciprocating with that person. But we are accountable to a living person, that living person can chastise us and can give us corrections.
Right. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. Now, we are moving to today's discussion. Where were we yesterday? I just want to ask if any question is there. Some question based on yes. Mataji, there is so much background noise. I'm not able to understand. आप text कीजिए, समझ में नहीं आ रहा। कोई प्रश्न है किसी का? Don't mind if you're very new and you don't know any of this thing. Okay, Guru Tag is pending. Yeah, we're going to discuss that, Guru Tag. Yes. No question? Okay. You can ask, you can note your questions and later also ask. And don't think that how should I ask this question? I should know this. No. If you have a question, you can ask. Okay. Because I see there are many new devotees joining this course and they must have a lot of questions. So yesterday we were at Guru Seva and Guru Vapu and Vani Seva. Lesson 10 we discussed. Okay. And there is a section about making proper enquiries to spiritual master. So what kind of enquiry should be made and what kind of enquiry should not be made? What Srila Prabhupada says? What kind of enquiry should not be made? Any example of enquiry if you should not
absurd
make?
inquiries.
Absurd inquiries. No? What do you mean by absurd inquiry? You should not make to spiritual master.
Prabhuji, sewage system of Dwarka. That example you gave yesterday.
Yes. द्वारका में sewage system क्या है? वो कुछ की क्या फायदा है? और क्या?
Prabhuji, something that does not involve our spiritual progress.
Yeah. No, at least initially we should be very careful. We should ask questions related to our spiritual progress. Yes. Absurd inquiries. Also asking which stock should I invest my money. Guru is not supposed to answer this. He's not need to know. Guru is not Supreme Lord. He represents the Supreme Lord. ऐसा नहीं कि गुरु है तो सब कुछ जाने हो कि कौन से स्टॉक में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या कौन से करियर में लेना चाहिए. They may a little bit guide, but at the same time, you understand spiritual master is not supposed to be knowing every single thing in this world. Right? As long as he knows the core principles of bhakti, and teaching that is sufficient. Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are the things the spiritual master should know thoroughly. Okay. So absurd inquiry is not allowed, and blind following also not allowed. You should ask question, but a proper question you should ask. So this is another section that it comes. And the next part is open page number 52. Read the last. The bug is who is sitting on the lap of the king. Please read that paragraph. 52 page number. Student handbook page number 52.
The bug who is sitting on the lap of the king. So far, personal association with the Guru is concerned, I was only with my Guru Maharaj 4 or 5 times, but I have never left his association, not even for a moment, because I am following his instructions. I have never felt any separation. There are some of my God brothers here in India who had constant personal association with Guru Maharaj, but who are neglecting his orders. This is just like the bug who is sitting on the lap of the king. He may be very puffed up by his position, but all he can succeed in doing is biting the king. Personal association is not so important as association through service.
The primary way in which we associate with our spiritual master is through the medium of service. So we should be very diligent to carry out the orders of spiritual master, carry out the service. This is the way we associate. Yes. Read next two also quickly. Full read. If you kindly try to fulfill my mission.
If you kindly try to fulfill my missions, that will be our constant association. So far I am concerned, I do not factually feel any separations from my spiritual masters because I am trying to serve him according to his desire. That should be the motto. If you kindly try to fulfill my missions for which you have been sent there, that will be our constant association.
Yes. Read next one also. Full read.
The feeling
The
of
feelings of
Yeah, read one. Dhananjay, read.
the feelings of separation will transform into transcendental bliss. Please be happy in separation. I am separated from my Guru Maharaj since 1936, but I am always with him so long. I work according to his direction. So we should all work together for satisfying Lord Krishna, and in that way, the feelings of separation will transform into transcendental bliss. Letter to Uddhava, Boston, 3rd May, 1968.
Yes. So we are separated from spiritual master, but what we should be doing is serving the order of spiritual master. Then we should experience the transcendental bliss. In Kim Purusha Loka, Hanumanji is in a constant separation from Lord Ram. Can you imagine Hanumanji? Can he stay any moment away from Lord Ram? But because Lord Ram has kept him here for preaching sake, constantly there is Harikatha going on and he's worshipping the deity of the Lord and he's engaged in service. So that is our example. That and because he's serving, Brod Bhagavatam says, because he's constantly serving in this way Lord Ram and hearing his Harikatha and constantly engaging his bhajan, somehow he's able to overcome the feelings of transcendental separation from the Lord, and he experiences that transcendental bliss. So constantly the katha is going on in Kim Purusha Loka of Lord Ram. So next section is Guru Tyaga. I'll share my presentation. Just so you may ask this question, why this point Guru Tyag, itna Guru ke baare mein baat karne ke baad mein, why are we discussing this point about giving up one's own spiritual master? Right? How do you understand this? So when you are flying in a plane, Those who have experience of flying in the plane, they might have observed that as soon as you sit in a plane and plane is going to take off, the air hostess or air host will come and they will showcase different demonstrations. And in the end, they will say that in an unlikely situation of this plane landing on the water, there is a jacket kept below the seat. This is the way you take out that jacket and you inflate that jacket and you can wear this jacket, and this is a safe way you can move out, right? This exit path. So they'll be giving these instructions. Every single flight, these instructions are given. Now, how many times you know that some plane has landed on the water? When did you last hear about that? Very, very less frequently. It doesn't happen every day, right? But when it happens, one should be prepared to do right things. What is needed to be done, one should be prepared to do that thing. That's why these instructions are given. Similarly, it's unlikely that a person in good standing will give a devotional service, but still it has happened in ISKCON also that sometimes the spiritual masters, they given a devotional service. They became sometimes opposed to the principles of ISKCON or GBC or the management of ISKCON, or they got engaged in sense gratification. And in such situation, if at last moment they're going to instruct devotees or tell them, it's going to be very late. They'll be really involved. They'll never know what to do. And sometimes it has happened that because the Guru left, entire lot of disciples also went along with the Guru. That has happened in ISKCON. That's why it's important that it's also very unlikely. It may not happen at all. But still, it's important to understand what to do in such situations. When it happens, how we should function is important to understand. That's why this section comes here, Guru Tyag. So any example where Guru was asked to be rejected, that one should reject Guru, that instruction was given, or somebody rejected Guru. Any incidents from scriptures?
Bali Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Bali Maharaj.
Yes, Bali Maharaj. Any more example? Okay, I'll share my screen once. Read.
According to scriptural codes, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned.
Who can be rejected? A Guru who has given up his duties, who has lost the sense of discrimination. What kind of discrimination is being discussed here? When it is mentioned, he has lost his sense of discrimination. What do you understand with this?
Prabhuji, discrimination means something, what is good and what is bad?
Yes, sense of discrimination. That he is acting against the instruction of scriptures. He has lost what to be done and what not to be done. He's doing things which are not supposed to be done, like breaking the regulative principles. One of the examples of that. Regularly breaking the 4 regulative principles. Somebody is doing that, then such a teacher can be rejected. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita purport 2.5. Why it's coming here? Please tell. Why it comes in Bhagavad Gita 2.5?
Because Dronacharya, Arjun was very concerned for Dronacharya. So.
Yes, Arjuna told that how can I reject Dronacharya and Bhishmadev? They're like my grandfather's spiritual master. I should be offering them flowers and you're asking me to shoot arrows at them. Why should I? How can I reject? Krishna says a spiritual master who has given up, because they've given up their duty, they've taken a side with Kauravas, they've taken a side of Adharma. Now they're fit to be rejected. You can kill them. So this comes in that context. This particular Mahabharata shloka comes there. Guror apyavaliptasya karya karyam ajanat. कार्य कार्यम अजानत. उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि क्या करना चाहिए. who has become avaliptasya, who has fallen into sense gratification. Upatha prati pannasya parityago vidiyate. One who has given up the path of devotional service and accepted other path. Such a spiritual master should be rejected. One should reject such a spiritual master. This comes in Mahabharata, where this discussion comes. And Srila Prabhupada quotes that in the purport. Such a guru can be rejected. Which guru? One who has got attached to the self gratification, who has lost the sense of duty, and one who has taken other path from the path of bhakti. Can you read this quote?
According to revealed scriptures, a teacher or a spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy of the position of a guru or spiritual master. Srimad Bhagavatam, purport 1.7.43.
Okay. So if he has proved himself unworthy of position of a guru or spiritual master, then you can reject him. So where this comes, 1.7, what it indicates, this chapter in Bhagavatam Canto 1. What is this pastime?
Passing away of this material.
Sorry? Can you tell it again, Prabhu?
Passing away of his material.
No, that's in 9th chapter. 7th chapter, there's a pastime of
Son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama, I think, punished.
Ashwatthama is punished, yes. So Ashwatthama, although he's son of a spiritual master, Dronacharya, and yesterday we learned that all the children of spiritual master, like we should respect all the relatives of spiritual master as spiritual master. But now Krishna is asking Arjuna to punish him. Why? Because he has actually proved himself unworthy of position of a guru by killing innocent children when they were in sleep. He has done most abominable action, and because he has done such abominable action, he is not worthy to be respected as a son of spiritual master or as a spiritual master. He must be rejected. So in that context, this instruction comes. Right? Okay. I want to make you read. Can you read page number 54 by mistake? Student handbook, page number 54. Can you read that?
By mistake, you have come to a rascal. You can reject him. Even though somebody by mistake has gone to a rascal, the book is there. As soon as you find out, here is a rascal who does not know anything about Krishna, and I have come to him, reject him. That is stated in Shastra. Guru api avaliptasya karya karyam ajanata parityago vidhiyate. Even by mistake you have come to a rascal who does not know how to become guru, you can reject him. Why should you stick to him? Reject him.
Yes, somebody who doesn't know Krishna, he's not himself a Krishna devotee, who is not following regular principles. You should reject. Even many people who know, you find them. बोलते बचपन में हमारा दीक्षा हुआ है, बोले क्या मंत्र मिला, कृष्ण मंत्र होता नहीं, भक्ति का होता नहीं कुछ. What is used then? Many people have this sentimental कि हम पहले दीक्षा हो चुका है, प्रभु जी हम लोग बचपन में, तुम पता भी हमारे गुरु हम कभी मिलते नहीं, but मेरे बचपन में दीक्षा हुआ है. So many people you meet like that. But if you don't know a spiritual master and if he's not a pure devotee of Krishna, and he's engaged in sense gratification, there's no point in following such spiritual master. Of course, if you got initiated in childhood and the guru is a Vaishnava guru, there's no point in rejecting him. But if he's not a Vaishnava, if he's a Vaishnava, then one can reject. Right? So there's no unnecessary, how can I leave? I am so attached actually, and he has got me in bhakti. No, but is he doing? Is he properly situated? That's important to understand. Bali Maharaj, his spiritual master was Shukracharya, and he asked him, you must not surrender unto Vishnu. He's not boy, ordinary boy, he's Lord Vishnu. If you give him 3 steps of land, he's going to conquer everything. So he was concerned about his own maintenance, Shukracharya. So he's not happy that if Vishnu takes away everything, then how will I maintain myself? But Bali Maharaj mentions that the entire verdict of all the scriptures is one should surrender everything to Vishnu. And if you are telling that I should not, if he's Vishnu and he's come to ask and I should not give, then what is the use? Right? If all the scriptures are saying one should surrender everything to Vishnu, and he rejected his spiritual master because he was not giving a proper teaching to him. So books are there, Srila Prabhupada mentions. So from books we understand actually what is right philosophy. And on the basis of Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, we understand. It's a tripod in ISKCON. We follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Or ISKCON, or even without ISKCON also actually. Like this in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we understand that we should follow Guru. Guru's teaching should conform to scriptures and other saintly people. Right? Then with the tripod, we can follow Guru. If Guru is speaking something which is against scriptures, then he is fit to be rejected. Okay. So Guru Rapi Avaliptas, that is more explained in a GBC Appendix 3 or student handbook page number 69. So can you open the page number 69? Yes. Have you opened that?
Yes, Guru.
So there are standards which are mentioned actually. The Guru should follow in ISKCON. So everybody has their standard. If somebody is Guru, he is also supposed to follow certain standards. We need to understand before choosing Guru, right? And also see that Guru is confirming to all the standards. Of course, it's not that we keep on judging Guru. That's not none of our business. But one should not whimsically reject one's Guru. It's a great offense at the lotus feet of a Guru. Whimsically, somebody rejects a Guru. Unless it is known from very credible sources and abundant proofs are there that Guru is engaged in breaking something like 4 regulative principles and not following at all the Krishna conscious principles, not following these principles, then one can consider rejecting. And that also in consultation with Shiksha Guru. We'll discuss that more. Yes. So student handbook page number 68, 69. It mentions what are the standard conduct for Guru and sanctioning of a Guru by GBC. Read page number 71, please open. Page number 71. Read the warning part.
Warning or censor. If a guru is found deviating from or neglecting spiritual practices, but the deviation or negligence is not very severe or habitual, or if a guru is transgressing the approved standards and guidelines for guru behavior, such as canvassing for disciples, etc., the guru should be warned or censored confidentially.
Yes. So without our knowledge, Guru may be he may be censured. Read probation, but will read.
Probation. If the warning was not heeded, or if the deviation or the neglect of spiritual practice are of a more serious nature, or if the transgression of a guru codes of behavior are serious and habitual, the guru may be put under the probation with a specific condition which regulate his guru functions, including temporary withdrawal of authorization to initiate new disciples. In addition, he may be given general recommendations of specific activities to perform as a part of a program for his rectification and the eventual reinstatement.
So ISKCON is doing all this actually. We understand that ISKCON helps the devotee, if they find that somebody is crossing the line. And then ISKCON also allows that person to reform oneself. If little transgression has happened, some period will be given, and that period one can reform oneself. Read further suspension. And these are protection system actually. For all devotees of ISKCON, GBCs are really concerned and they created this system. So they'll be protected. Read further suspension part.
Suspension. If a guru blatantly ignores the terms of probation or repeatedly breaks one or more of the regulative principles, or acts in a manner which seriously and harmfully disregards existing ISKCON or GBC policies, or leaves his ashram of sannyas without authorization, or leaves the association of devotees and the ISKCON movement, or completely deviates from standard sadhana, he may be suspended. If a guru is suspended, he cannot give initiation nor maintain an absolute shiksha position in relation with his disciples, nor be introduced as a spiritual master, nor perform his guru functions such as receiving guru puja or the acceptance of dakshina.
Yes, yes. So these are all things that are there. And read the last one.
Hare Krishna.
Removal.
Yes. One devotee, please read that.
Removal. If a guru becomes openly inimical to Srila Prabhupada or ISKCON, or otherwise acts demonically, or becomes an impersonalist Mayavadi, or preaches the unauthorized philosophy of Apasampradaya groups against Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principle, or blatantly and consistently defy ISKCON and GBC policies, or if a guru's attachment to sense gratification is serious, prolonged, or hopeless, then as per Shastric injunction, he shall be removed from his position as Diksha or Shiksha Guru.
Right. There's so many conditions are there. It's not like everybody is immediately removed. No. If it has become openly inimical, openly somebody is writing, publishing against Srila Prabhupada, acting demoniacally. What do you mean by acting demonically? Eating openly meat, promiscuting, keeping relationship with outside marriage, right? For grasta, sannyasi, or sannyasi having a relationship with illicit relationship with ladies, right? Sexual relationship, or somebody's accepting intoxications, like somebody's consuming drugs, intoxications for prolonged period, not even once is mentioned. I mentioned regular, repeated. This word come here. Repeated transgression of these kind of principles. Or preaching the philosophy of Mayavad, that Lord is impersonal, ultimately this Krishna's body is impersonal. If somebody preaches this kind of deviant philosophy, so in these cases only actually, our Guru's attachment to sense gratification is serious, prolonged, hopeless, which involves breaking of four regulative principles, and is hopeless. He cannot come out of that. Then, as per Shastric injunction, he shall be removed from his position of Diksha or Shiksha Guru. So these are the various ways actually ISKCON tries to help or protect disciples if somebody is going deviant. So one can actually, one has to be very careful. When somebody finds such kind of behavior, one has to be very careful. Or somebody, because there might be fault or there might be a perception of a fault, and we may not know, right? Can you tell what a few things may go wrong? If we're trying to judge a spiritual master, can you please tell me? What are inappropriate ways of rejecting a guru? What are inappropriate ways? Yes.
Prabhuji is believing on some rumor, false rumor about a guru, and on the basis of that deciding suddenly, haphazardly, that I will reject this guru. That will lead to Vaishnava Aparadh.
Yes, it's very serious offense. Like yesterday I mentioned, one disciple came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, I'm taking reinitiation from a sannyasi in Gaudiya Math. Please give me a blessing. Prabhupada said, you got my blessing to go to hell. So somebody whimsically gives a spiritual master, there's great danger. He has to face very serious consequences for that. So one has to be very careful. One should not take on one's own, hearing some rumor, because there are so many rumor mongers are there on the internet and every place, and they'll be speaking so many things. But what we should be doing, what we should be doing ideally.
So it's like we have our immediate superiors, and with them we can contact, and the senior devotees with whom we can have access, we can mail them and ask them about the truthfulness of the incident. That Prabhuji, I heard this incident. Is it true?
Yeah. So we can check with some senior devotees. What is mentioned somewhere on internet is right or wrong. And even after whatever it may be, actually, what should be our response to that? How should I act in this situation? One should discuss these things. One should not just whimsically give up one's guru. What are other inappropriate ways of whimsically giving up guru? Yes.
Hare Krishna Guruji. So, like we can find like some guru will go into like some functions which is not in spiritual. So we should not interpret that. We don't know the internal like meaning or behind it, and we should not interpret anything about that particular incident. Or we may find any photos in social media.
Yeah. So we are
going into particular function and all that.
We are very expert at finding faults. We are fallen in this world because we found a fault with the faultless Supreme Lord Krishna, who has no faults. But we are so expert in finding fault that we even found faults with Krishna when we come to this material world. So that is the nature of a living being to find faults. It's like सुई जो रहती है, needle is asking receive, channi. The channi is asking to the needle, you got a hole, but you got how many holes? You got unlimited holes. Why are you looking at one hole? Right? So that is our nature to find faults. We should be very careful actually. That even things which are not faulty will think like these are faults. This is very wrong. And so we should be very careful. There might be fault and there may be just perception of fault. Many times we may take even a perception of fault as a fault itself. Right? There may not be any fault. So we have to be very careful. And for that we should consult senior devotees if any doubts are there. Any other way?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, we see that the spiritual masters as a mission of like propagating the holy name or anything, like they go in various places to preach, like in offices and in the jail and all those things. So we should not think that they are something like they are also materialistic with some materialistic agenda they are going, or
Right.
they're something like us. Yeah, because
Right.
they are pure devotees, they have full sense control. They're not like us.
Yeah. 1 second. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Okay. So if let's say we come to know some behavior, or you heard somewhere, what are inappropriate ways of dealing with this situation? Let's say you heard from some place, you heard from internet that this thing has happened with the guru or some senior devotee. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, something has happened. What are inappropriate ways of dealing with this situation? Can you mention a few inappropriate ways?
We're spreading that news everywhere.
Yeah, without confirming, just spreading false information, rumor, making it public, very inappropriate. We great aparad, we are spreading the blasphemy. What is the first offense to holy name?
Blaspheming the devotees who have dedicated the life for the serving of the Lord.
Yeah. So we'll get implicated in the first offense if we start spreading the false news without proper understanding, without proper knowledge. What else? What is the wrong, inappropriate ways of dealing with this situation?
Prabhuji, approaching a person who is not supposed to solve the problem.
Yeah, unnecessary discussing, like going to your juniors and telling the faults, what your so-called faults. You're not even sure it's there or not. It's not going to help. You must approach somebody who can help you understand things. What? No. Otherwise, what? No, you heard? No, what I heard? No, right? We call people and we start telling things. This is what the living entity like, the gossip part. That's what people have been doing. So we should not do unnecessary gossip about this. Anything else?
Prabhuji, I'm not sure, but how correct it is. Passing our own judgment.
Yeah. So we should not immediately make a judgment. Oh, somebody I read somewhere, so immediately I decided, oh, he's the most fallen person, and I reject him. No, we should wait for ISKCON authorities to take this call, and they generally have their inquiries and they have their committees, and let them come up with a report and let them declare. ISKCON declares if something is not right. ISKCON is very transparent organization. ISKCON has its own forums, and they will let know. We'll not take it to our own hands. I'll decide for myself. So we should not take it to our own hands. We should approach senior devotees. Any other way? Inappropriate ways of dealing with this information.
Without taking guidance, leave the process itself.
Yeah, if somebody gives up guru without taking guidance, that is also great harm one is doing to oneself as spiritual master. So these are all inappropriate ways of dealing with this situation. What is the appropriate way of dealing with the situation?
Prabhu, the inappropriate can be one that nowadays people take videos and all, means without inquiring first. They just take videos and upload it on internet.
Yeah, so we should not spread false information. We should not unnecessarily become an instrument of, we should not do a rumor mongering. We should refrain from that. We should not mentally offend a devotee. We should wait for more information coming from more official sources, senior management body of ISKCON. What is their opinion? Then only we should take our call. Okay. What are the appropriate ways of dealing with this situation?
Check with senior devotees.
Yes. Check with senior devotees. What else?
Prabhuji, we should wait for the official announcement from GBC.
Yes, wait for official announcement. And if you see such a behavior, then what you should do? Let's say if you are seeing something which you were not comfortable when you saw that, what things you'll do?
Prabhuji, keeping calm and only disclosing them to senior devotees. Do not ever discuss them with juniors or who are not so advanced and may be affected.
Yeah. We should not unnecessarily discuss that with so many junior devotees. If temple authority, zonal secretary, GBC, we should ask the senior devotees and take their consultation. And in their consultation, we should act, not that we keep on discussing with anybody and everybody. So there are official forums are there where you can register if you have any serious misbehavior you have seen and you want to report. So there are different email IDs are there, or forums are there. This ISKCON Resolve is there for resolving situations. The ISKCON leadership misbehavior, email ID is there, you can get it. So leadership misbehavior in ISKCON. If you find that, you can mail to them and they will investigate, they will make an inquiry. Unnecessary one should not do. But one sees a serious violation of certain regulative principles, then one can approach. Yes. So these are the appropriate ways of lodging. Actually, when somebody goes to say temple authority, one Shiksha Guru, or ISKCON Resolve, or leadership misbehavior, as I mentioned, these are the proper way of dealing. So open the page, student handbook number, page number 73. खोला?
Yes.
I'm just opening my own. Okay. Reinitiation, there's a column of reinitiation. 76 I mentioned, right? What page number did I mention? I'm not getting it.
73.
73.
1 second. I'm not getting exactly. There is the reinitiation part. They mentioned in a presentation. I can find there. 1 second. Can somebody search reinitiation and let me know? They can search in booklet. No, you can do Control F and you can search. Let me know. Okay. Okay, let's go to presentation. I say my present. You can read from here. Okay, drawing exercise. Draw images showing how, in the case of Guru Tyag, before being reinitiated, disciple can continue to become connected to Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, and ISKCON. So, before doing Guru Tyag, or before getting reinitiated, probably somebody rejected Guru, how one can still protect oneself spiritually? Please mention a few ways one can still remain connected to Guru Parampara. Yes.
Prabhuji, where is it in the handbook? Which page number? Because I'm referring the hard copy.
1 second.
Page 56.
Prabhuji, 56.
56. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Do this exercise, please. Please mention, yes, what are the ways a devotee can remain connected?
Prabhuji, they can keep practicing devotional life under the guidance of gurus, god brothers, and senior devotees.
Yes. And one can always develop connection with Srila Prabhupada. So it is mentioned actually, if you got initiated and if your spiritual master was in good standing at the time of initiation, that means already you established a live connection with Parampara. And even you need not even get reinitiated actually. One can still continue because his connection is already established. If you want to get reinitiated, it's allowed. But there's a GBC resolution that even somebody whose guru has gone away, it's not compulsory for him because his connection with the Parampara is already established. So he can wait, or he can decide not to get reinitiated again. If somebody feels the need that I want to get reinitiated, then one can get reinitiated also. But one should maintain an active connection. And this is the purpose of this course actually, that we develop our relationship with Srila Prabhupada. Whatever may happen in ISKCON, it has happened in ISKCON that in a foreign some temples, entire set of all the devotees were serving the deities. They left, they locked the temple. Sare chale gaye. Or baad mein deities are just standing there. Nobody is there to serve. And after some days, bus party, a book distribution party, moving party comes there to stay in a temple, and they find nobody staying in a temple. Temple is locked. They open the lock and they start serving the deities again, and they develop the preaching and congregation. And again, the devotees have come and serve these deities. Right? So Srila Prabhupada is always there for us, and we can always turn to Srila Prabhupada, and that's important. We develop a relationship with Prabhupada. If you develop a relationship with only one person and that person goes away, then that situation may come that you lost total hope, that who is there for me. And it may be very difficult. That's why it's important that we develop relationship with. We find some alternate other shelters also. It's not that we keep on predicting that my guru is going to fall, my guru is going to fall. No, it's not like that. We should not think like that. At the same time, we must have shelter of Srila Prabhupada ultimately in any situation. We can always, that infallible shelter of Srila Prabhupada is available for all devotees of ISKCON. Yes. So, any question based on this discussion? Anybody has any question?
Prabhuji, I have a question. So here we are talking about if the Guru has not followed certain principles or something
Yes.
inappropriate. Prabhuji, something like a disciple, once after getting initiated and follows a vow for a certain time, and he purposely, of course, it is purposely, not unintentionally, he does not follow the four regulative principles or whatever the vows he has taken. So, Prabhuji, in that case, what happens? What are the reactions that happens to the Guru because of our thing, and what happens to the disciple?
So the disciple will commit sinful activity, then the part of the sinful reaction will go to spiritual master. So there is this pastime, Rishi Kumar Prabhu, Rishi Kumar Swami actually. So Rishi is matching beautifully. So Srila Prabhupada had given him actually sannyas, and he, after sannyas, he was very powerful devotee. Srila Prabhupada had so much faith in him, and then he came to meet after actually somehow he couldn't follow the vows, and he left ISKCON, and after many days he comes up, and his eyes are rolling, and he's having a disheveled long hairs, and he's not looking like original Swami. He was such a powerful devotee. He's standing in front of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada tells him, "You are like a soldier," and the soldier falls on the ground. It's not that he has lost. Soldier is an opportunity to again stand up and again fight the war. If you're once fallen, it's not your permanently fallen. Again, please stand up, be with us, and you fight this war. The war against Maya is eternal, perpetual war, until you go to Krishna's abode. So no problem. Again, you can come back to us. Please stay with me. Srila Prabhupada gave him all the chance, right? So a disciple is fallen. It's not that Guru will immediately going to reject that. Guru will keep on giving the opportunities for that devotee. Even Guru may come back again actually for lifting that disciples. So Guru is always there. Srila Prabhupada sent Sudama Swami to Japan. Srila Prabhupada actually told anybody who goes to Japan for preaching, even if he falls down, I'll take him back home. I'll take him back home back to Godhead. And Sudama Prabhu went, he preached in Japan, he established ISKCON, and somehow, because not having sufficient association and getting sannyas initiations at a young age, he couldn't follow the vows, and he left ISKCON. But at the end of his life, when he got a cancer, actually find that again, the devotees come and they find him, and they meet him, and they request him come to temple, and he goes to the temple again, takes to devotional service, and he's quitting his body. He's telling, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada has come. Srila Prabhupada has never failed in his promise. Srila Prabhupada has followed his promise. See, I am able to see Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has come to take me." But Srila Prabhupada had told that anybody goes to Japan, I'll personally come and I'll deliver. So Srila Prabhupada has given this promise actually. We follow, but devotee should not be careless. Srila Prabhupada's protection is always there for his disciples. But we should not be careless. Like Srila Prabhupada used to say for Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ, he has not taken, he आपका जिम्मा नहीं उठाया कि बार बार आप sinful activity commit करते रहो, बार बार आपका he'll take away all your sins. The disciple should not act in such a way actually. Sin no more. After we initiated, we should never commit any kind of sinful activity. When you come to devotion service, not to say of initiation, not commit any sinful activity. But if somebody falls into sinful activity, spiritual master's protection, he may not go back home back to Godhead, but by grace of Krishna and spiritual master, he'll again get an opportunity to practice his devotion service. Where he's lost, again he'll continue. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other question? So are you listing there? List a few ways a disciple can continue to be connected to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. In case Guru Tyag, before getting reinitiated. What are a few more ways? Yeah, one can connect it to senior devotees, one can continue hearing Srila Prabhupada, reading his books. In this way, one can remain connected. Open the previous page. That quote is important actually. I want you to read that quote. Read this. If you give up the company of spiritual master, page number 55.
Prabhuji, you want us to read? Okay.
Yeah, but when?
Go ahead, go ahead.
If you give up the company of a spiritual master, that is not good for you. But when one leaves a spiritual master, the spiritual master, there may be some reasons. That reason is also given in Shastra. Kuru api avaliptasya karya karyam ajanata. Karya akarya. If the spiritual master does not know what is actually to be done, what is actually not to be done, and he acts against the rules and regulations of the Shastra, then such a spiritual master may be given up. But so long you do not find the spiritual master is doing against the principles of Shastra or Guru, then if you give up the company of a spiritual master, that is not good for you. That is your downfall.
Right. Read the last translation. One pollutes his own intelligence. Brahma Vaivarta Puran. Read further.
One pollutes his own intelligence and exhibits severe weakness of character when he rejects his own spiritual master. Indeed, such a person has already rejected the Supreme Lord Hari.
Yes, he has already rejected Hari. If somebody rejects a spiritual master who is in a good standing, so one should be really very, very careful. So what all things did you learn in this? Please quickly recap, in this chapter, what did we learn? Because there's no next session, so we're going to have a recap today only. Quickly.
True, we can reject a spiritual master if he lost the sense of discrimination and he's attached to sense gratification, or he is following wrong path.
Wrong philosophy. He's given a path of bhakti. And what else we learn in this?
Also, Prabhuji, how to deal with such situations if a spiritual master falls down?
Right. That how we deal is we strengthen our connection with Srila Prabhupada, and of course that should always be done, but we remain connected to Guru Parampara by reading, by hearing Srila Prabhupada literature. And one may decide to get reinitiated, or one may even stay without initiation, reinitiation. What is we learn?
So one should not whimsically give up a spiritual master by hearing some false propaganda or false rumor.
Yeah, one should be very, very careful. That news should come from very, very trustworthy source. It should be confirmed without any iota of doubt. And when this is there, then only one can consider rejecting. Not that one's own whim one can reject. That is very sinful. Yes. So can you open page number 56 and just let's read these two quotes and then we move to the next chapter. Read reinitiation. A devotee who?
A devotee who, considering GBC guidelines on the subject of rejecting a guru and consulting with senior ISKCON devotees, has decided to reject his non-bona fide guru, may seek initiation from an approved ISKCON guru. Normal procedures as applicable in the case of first and second initiations are described elsewhere in the ISKCON law should be followed.
Yes, so if somebody's guru has fallen, he is allowed to take a reinitiation from another spiritual master. Read down, Mataji, or who will read? Please always try to remember me and my teachings.
Please always try to remember me by my teachings, and we shall always be together. Please always try to remember me by my teachings, and we shall always be together. Just like I have written in the first publications of Srimad Bhagavatam, the spiritual master lives forever by his divine instruction, and the disciple lives with him. Because I have always served my Guru Maharaj and followed his teachings, I am now even never separated from him. Letter to Chidanand, Bhaktivedanta Manor, 25th November 1973.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for reading this. Srila Prabhupada mentioned is here that Srila Prabhupada association will be always there for the spiritual master lives forever with divine instruction. The disciple lives with him. So as long as we are reading the books of Srila Prabhupada and following his instruction, Srila Prabhupada is always there for us. His infallible shelter is always available to us. That we should remember in this situation. Yes. Any question on this? Otherwise, the chapter 12 and 13, they're little smaller chapters, and we'll move on to chapter 12 and 13. I'll give 10 minutes break before we start that.
Prabhuji,
yes.
One more thing. We would want to know a little about the exam. It would be MCQs
I'll call BVRV people.
Yes, so maybe towards the end or in between, if they can just,
Yeah, they can give you an idea about the exam, surely.
Yeah, thank you, Professor.
Yes. Any question? Any other question regarding this? So it's very unlikely this is going to happen, but just in case we should know, that's why we discuss this part. So I'll give small break, 15 minutes. Please come back in 15 minutes, and then we'll cover the last two sections. Section 13.
Prabhuji, I have a question here. So,
yes.
Prabhuji, in the reinitiation, you said that lest waste a disciple can continue to be connected to Srila Prabhupada. So, Prabhuji, one of the ways would be to continue doing his sadhana the way he was doing.
Yes. Yes, continue doing sadhana and seva. Want your temple services.
Yes. Yes.
Continue doing that.
Yes.
There are many devotees actually who, I know, their spiritual master, two spiritual masters left. They still study in ISKCON. It's not that if my spiritual master has given up, so how can I continue? There are devotees, many devotees who left actually because the spiritual master left. Hundreds of devotees left. It has happened in ISKCON, and it's very unfortunate. It should not have happened, and that's why you're having this IDC, and these things are totally because these things have happened in ISKCON. That hundreds of devotees left at a time when their spiritual master left. But there were devotees, so many devotees actually. They had a strong, firm faith in Srila Prabhupada, a strong firm faith in our philosophy, Krishna consciousness. And so many storms came to their life, but they never left the association of devotees. Here in Hyderabad temple, there is one devotee. His name is Anandmay Prabhu. He's 50 years. He's a Grasta devotee actually. He's staying just near temple, 15 minutes from temple. Every single day comes for a morning program. His age is now 77 years old. Recently, because he got accident, he's not able to walk. Now he's coming around Guru Puja time. Otherwise, just few years back, 2-3 years back, when he was still 74. Even it's raining, he'll be coming on the bike. And 4:29, he'll be present for Mangalarti every single day without fail. And whole day, he's serving in the BPT department. There was not much help available here. There are not so many devotees, just few years back. Personally, single one box he'll keep and lift and put it at one place. So he has seen so many storms in ISKCON actually. Even this temple was hijacked, this Hyderabad temple. But he never discontinued his service to Srila Prabhupada. And every single day is there for Bhagavatam. Even there is a junior speaker, he'll be sitting there in the class offering obeisance to that speaker, hearing very humbly. And he'll walk, he'll not take a lift. He'll walk, he'll go to the manager, please give me sign. Can you please read this and give me sign? Or simple things actually. You can call manager, he's a Srila Prabhupada disciples, 50 years serving in a temple. It's so humble. So ISKCON, we have also such examples of pure devotees actually, exalted devotees. Yes, Prabhu.
In that case, while doing DT worship, they keep Srila Prabhupada's photo for taking permission. How it is?
Yeah, means Srila Prabhupada picture, unless you reinitiated, then you directly take Srila Prabhupada, because as we discussed, this is Shiksha line, and they're also connected directly to Srila Prabhupada. Preeminent means the greatest, surpassing all other gurus is our Srila Prabhupada, they are spiritual master. That's the meaning of preeminent, we learned, right? The greatest or surpassing all others. So that connection is always there with Srila Prabhupada, and Shiksha Guru, prominent Shiksha Guru.
Okay, bro, thank you.
So I wanted to glorify Anandmay Prabhu. Thank you for bringing this opportunity, Mataji. Just looking at him, so faith-giving actually, serving steady at one place. He's only Bhakti Charu Maharaj said he's a Grahast Sannyasi, staying at one place, and 50 years, the whole day is serving here in BBT. And he doesn't take a single farthing for all his services actually. He's from a very rich family in France, and his things are maintained. He's just simply serving here. So you meet again in 15 minutes after the break. Hare Krishna. Can I make somebody also as a co-host? Can I make somebody the co-host here? Okay, Aditya, I made you co-host. I'll come back in 15 minutes. So you also come back, please. Hare Krishna. How many minutes are over? When did we start? Break? I think हो गया ना 15 minutes. Right? $15 minutes over, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This little kirtan. By the time other 5-10 people are joining. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Girivardhari Gopal Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Girivardhari Gopal 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Gaura Hari Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Hari Bol Shri Ram Sankirtan ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining back. Although I'm seeing number still not total number has not come, not everybody has come, but we'll start now. So we are moving on to the next chapter. This chapter is titled as Presenting One's Guru. So how do we present our spiritual master? Do we present our spiritual master? If we do that, how do we present Srila Prabhupada? That's going to be discussed in this chapter. Let me open this presentation also. So I want to ask this question. Do we present a spiritual master to new devotees when they get introduced to ISKCON? Do we present our spiritual master to them? When do we do that? Is it important to present spiritual master?
No, not initially, Prabhuji. Initially, we must introduce Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada is also one of the spiritual. No, he's spiritual master, definitely. I'm talking about spiritual master as a concept or as a person, any person. Samiksha Mataji, you're telling, yes. Samiksha Mataji, please be louder, clear.
Hare Krishna, is it audible? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
माता जी आप माइक निकाल के डायरेक्ट मोबाइल में बात कर सकते हैं, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा।
Hare Krishna, is it audible?
Yes, better, much better, yes.
So first of all, we should introduce him to Srila Prabhupada when he gets situated in his knowledge in the spirituality. So then we can take a risk of introducing him to our spiritual master. Is that okay?
Yes, we should introduce, right? She's telling, or you are asking me, is it okay? That's what I asked. Is it okay? Any other opinion?
Why not? We can introduce.
He's asking why not? Yes, why not? In ISKCON, when devotees, when they were very new devotees, they didn't know any philosophy. So when they were going out for preaching, what they were telling? You know, there was a Swami just come from India. He's very exalted Swami. Very pure, very kind. He's very loving, and he cooks so much abundant feast. They were only introducing Srila Prabhupada, and that's how they were getting people, because they didn't know about Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, no philosophy, anything they didn't know. So that's the way they were getting people. And looking at the love for Srila Prabhupada, these hippies, when they would talk about Srila Prabhupada, they had so much love for Srila Prabhupada, the other person would think, oh my God, this person seems to be so special. I must meet this person. And they would come to meet Srila Prabhupada, not by getting convinced by philosophy. It's important that we also introduce spiritual master, even in our device course, actually, initially once the basic understanding is given, philosophy. Actually, in the second session only, we introduce the concept of Guru Parampara, Shabda Praman, right? The three Pramanas. First session is, can a scientist believe in a God? Somebody's mic is open. Yes. So, in a second session only, we introduce Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman is a word of a God coming down in a disciplic succession. And again, in EBG, start of EBG, there is a session on spiritual master. So we introduce, if you want to understand the spiritual truth, one must surrender to the spiritual master. Evam Vijnanartu Sam Gurum Eva Abhigachet. Unless Abhigachet, Srila Prabhupada, how does it translate Abhigachet as? आपने पढ़ा है प्रभुपाद जी की बुक में, बहुत बार प्रभुपाद जी कोट करते हैं अभिगच्छेत. How does Prabhupada translate this abhigachet?
One must go.
One must. If you want to understand spiritual knowledge, there is no other way. Only by surrendering unto a self-realized spiritual master, you're going to understand this knowledge. One must surrender unto abhigachet. Abhi का मतलब उसके जब अलगा जाता है abhigachet, उसका मतलब होता है one must do that. No, there is no option. Just calling me again. 1 second. Just a second, I need to pick up this call. Sorry. Hare Krishna. So we can introduce. What are the advantage of introducing Srila Prabhupada in the beginning? Or whom do we should introduce first of all? Should we introduce our own spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada? Yes.
Srila Prabhupada.
Why? Why not our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada?
Prabhuji is founder Acharya.
When Prabhuji has mentioned once person start chanting 16 rounds, then we should introduce our spiritual master. But if you introduce Srila Prabhupada, we have seen actually people get so inspired. I've seen people when they see this documentary, Your Ever Well-Wisher, we generally show up a Sankalpa camp. People are so inspired by life of Srila and dedication of Srila Prabhupada. So actually, there are so many spiritual organizations that don't have any philosophy. They just introduce personality. Have you seen? Bas picture laga rehta hai bada bada unke guru ka. And with the power of their guru, you know how many people know their guru, right? No, they are not so world famous. In India, probably people know. They don't have worldwide movement. But still people have a big picture of their guru without any philosophy. And they find no harm in presenting their guru. In India, there is one particular guru. His pictures and statues are found in every school. Right? What he has done. And what Srila Prabhupada has done. How many temples he has opened. How many disciples he has made. No foreign disciples he has made. Still, his pictures and statues are there every place. And Srila Prabhupada, how many people know? Unfortunately, I wish to tell that we are not done sufficiently for Srila Prabhupada. The glory Srila Prabhupada deserves, unfortunately, we have not yet brought that glory to Srila Prabhupada. How much Srila Prabhupada has done and how little we have glorified Srila Prabhupada actually for all the contributions he has made to the world. Who has done actually so much for our culture, for our spirituality, for our religion, for our India? Every place, Mr. Prime Minister, he recently came for Srila Prabhupada event he had come last year. And he told every country I go and their Hare Krishna devotees are chanting. They marketed Hare Krishna so nicely that even I tell my officers that you should market like Hare Krishna people. Every place you go and there is Hare Krishna. All the foreign people are coming and doing kirtan. Such a soft, powerful diplomacy actually, that every country, local people are practitioners of our Sanatan Dharma, which is originating in India. So, how much Srila Prabhupada has done? But how many people know Srila Prabhupada? Very few people know Srila Prabhupada, his contribution. How many people respect Srila Prabhupada? So, we have done very little land. It's all of us duty actually that we let people know about the glory of Srila Prabhupada, how much he has done. Even material point of view, not from spiritual point of view, even from very pure material point of view, Srila Prabhupada has done enormous contribution. Nobody has done this much contribution. After Srila Prabhupada gone, actually all this Kirtan Yoga, all these things become more famous in West. Veganism became more famous in West. These things were not there. Srila Prabhupada has done very tremendous contribution. Yes. So yeah, no harm. But yeah, I'm asking comparatively introducing your own spiritual master, that many people do that, right? And introducing Srila Prabhupada, what we should do and why, why like that? Yes. बताइए, between your spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, whom do you introduce first and why?
Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada should be introduced first because
Why?
he is the founder Acharya of ISKCON and means like students normally who come to ISKCON, they first read Srila Prabhupada book. So if we tell the glories of Srila Prabhupada, even materially, at the age of 70, how he went to the West and he was sleeping only 2 to 4 hours every day and writing the books, and he propagated the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the West. That is not possible for any common man. Then people will get inspired and he will start reading his books. And then slowly they can choose, we can give them the freedom to choose their own spiritual master and they will become spiritually advanced.
Yes, this is a wonderful point that when you're giving books to read, the small books generally you give to new people to read. Unless they got a faith on author, you cannot 100% accept the message. But if you get a good faith on the author, that this author is a great person actually, and I must read his books, I must follow his words. And if with this understanding, with this faith, if they read Srila Prabhupada books, then they can bring out more transformation. Any other point? This Mataji has written Srila Prabhupada should be introduced first because the basic foundation is strong. The Srila Prabhupada shelter person can take shelter afterwards. Okay. The basic foundation is strong, then other shelter you can take afterwards. So what your first impression is last impression, they say, right? Whatever things you do in the beginning, you remember them most. So we want people to accept Srila Prabhupada as their preeminent Shiksha Guru. We want Srila Prabhupada as a central focal point of ISKCON. All devotees should come together under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada. It's important that in the very beginning only we introduce people to Srila Prabhupada so that they develop that very strong initial connection with Prabhupada, because whatever connection you develop initially, they last really long, those relationships. So when people are stepping into Krishna consciousness, in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, it's the best that they develop their relationship with Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, being an infallible soldier, such an empowered acharya and such an exemplary devotee, he can inspire the devotee so much once the devotee accepts him as his inspiration. Any other point? Or the point?
Prabhuji, nowadays there are many biographies and movies are presented on Srila Prabhupada. So it will be easy for people to keep faith. Instead, if we directly introduce our Guru, they don't know it in person.
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada being the founder of entire society of ISKCON, right? Like while introducing book, generally we give Bhagavad Gita because everybody knows Bhagavad Gita, easy to access. Similarly, you say that he's a founder of entire ISKCON movement. That means he's a big person actually, right? Because entire movement is entire. Then introducing one particular Guru who also be great, but Srila Prabhupada is founder of entire movement of ISKCON. And as you mentioned, there's so many biographies and books are written about him. It's easier, right? And Srila Prabhupada's character is totally flawless. Actually, of course, our spiritual master should also will have a flawless character, but there's no harm in introducing Srila Prabhupada. It's totally flawless character. Yes. Any other point? Last, if somebody like to tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Please write down in the box. I think in the handbook there's a box, right? Please write down some benefits there. Yes, Mataji, you were telling something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhuji, like every spiritual master in ISKCON has accepted and some limbs of Srila Prabhupada's teachings, like someone is in book distribution, someone is in temple construction, someone is in writing books. So like initially one new person may get confused that this person is talking about that. But when we give him Srila Prabhupada's introduction or books, so he will get the core principle or core means a core message of parampara, and then
overall,
he can through the eyes of overall much, and he can see through the he can understand that why some guru is in that principle, some guru is in that seva. Otherwise, he will get disturbed.
Yes, nice point. Yes, so please list down some of these advantages and what do you find more in the booklet. There is a place you can write down. Mataji has written Guru Groupism will not happen. Right? Initially, only we introduce people to Srila Prabhupada and they accept him as the most important person in their life, in their spiritual life. Then whatever success comes in ISKCON, actually, this under all Srila, it's all under Srila Prabhupada. Whatever Guru is getting successful, ultimately, Srila Prabhupada is getting successful. Because that Guru is also serving Srila Prabhupada. Not my Guru is not getting successful, only this Guru is getting successful. Not like that. So, Guru Groupism will not happen. Definitely, actually. When people are connected to Srila Prabhupada, we see entire ISKCON as a one family, not fragmented different families. Very nice. लिखा आप लोगों ने? Done? Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Please read from the screen. Read. Can you please read?
Presenting Srila Prabhupada. ISKCON devotees shall instruct new members to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and receive guidance, training and assistance from those who are practical and directly instructing them in Krishna consciousness. ISKCON members shall choose when and from whom they wish to request initiation. They must focus their attention on Srila Prabhupada as a founder Acharya and their preeminent Shiksha Guru. ISKCON Law 7.2.1 Fast Harinam Initiation.
So, as far as we going, we only recommend Srila Prabhupada. As far as initiation is there, we give that liberty to that individual devotee. Let him think about it. We did not canvas our own guru. Let him find out where he resonates most with. That is not our part. Our part is introduce him to Srila Prabhupada. And choosing guru, he himself can do later. So there are the 4 things one should hide, it is mentioned. Gopaye devatam ishtam, gopaye gurum atmanah, gopaye nijam mantram, gopaye nijamalika. अपने इष्ट देव को छुपाना चाहिए, देवताम इष्टम बताना नहीं चाहिए. अपने गुरु को भी छुपाना चाहिए, पब्लिकली नहीं बताना चाहिए. You should not tell openly. One should also hide one's mantra, specifically the second initiation mantra. One should hide. Hare Krishna mantra is loudly chanted. गोपयेन निज मालिका. और आपका जो माला होता है, इसलिए हम बिड बैग में चैंटिंग करते हैं, because you should not show your mala to someone. So these are the 4 things one should hide. So one spiritual master also, it's not that openly we go and tell and canvas for our spiritual master. One should hide. So what is appropriate ways and what are the inappropriate ways of presenting our spiritual masters? Yes, performance.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
Prabhu, actually, I had a doubt that you are telling that we should hide our Ishta, but every time we are showing Krishna, Hare Krishna, we are chanting. So how we are hiding our Ishta?
Ishtadev means in Krishna also there are so many Ishtadevs are there. The deities are there, right? Somebody's Ishtadev is Radha Madan Mohan, somebody's Ishtadev is Radha Gopinath, somebody's Ishtadev is Krishna in the Bal Krishna form, somebody's Ishtadev is Varadev, somebody's Ishtadev is Narsingadev. Vishnumurti also there Ishtadevas are there. So Hare Krishna is common mantra, but you can please your own Ishtadev with Hare Krishna mantra. It's the generic mantra. You can please any of your Ishtadev with Hare Krishna mantra. But you need not reveal who is your Ishtadev.
Guruji, Ishtadev means to whom we are attracted the most, or how can we define?
Yeah, whom you are attracted most. A particular form of the Lord, which that form inspires you most and he attracts you most. That's Ishtadev. That you personally will know who is your Ishtadev.
Can it be like different temples, different names are given, like Radha Madhav, Radha Chandra?
No, it's not for temple, it's for individual.
Okay, thank you.
So, Prabhuji, one Prabhuji asked me, why do you hide that? Why should you hide? दो प्रभुजी ने एक ही सवाल पूछा है मुझे. तो गोपी वर्ड कहाँ से आता पता है आपको? The gopi word come from gopayet. One meaning of gopi is gopayet actually. छुपा के रखा जाता है. In a Srimad Bhagavatam, the gopis are hidden. None of the gopis' name is mentioned. In 9th canto, you will find so many dynasties are mentioned. King after another. No? इस राजा का लड़का ये थे, इनके ये पुत्र थे, इनके ये पुत्र थे, सबका नाम दिया है. और गोपियों को कैसे सा गोपी? अरे सा गोपी की उसका नाम नहीं था क्या? श्री यशोदा मैया का नाम आता, बाकी कोई गोपी का नाम नहीं आता. ऐसा क्यों है? Because if something is valuable, you don't show in a public. Something which is very, very valuable, you hide that. सबको नहीं दिखाते, आप छुपा के रखते हो, right? You don't open your wallet and show how much money you got, or what is your credit card number. These are valuable things. So that's why the gopis are also hidden in scriptures, actually, not easily mentioned. In Bhagavatam, the names are many reasons actually. One is Gopaya, the Gopi, that they're hidden because they're most valuable. Right? Another reason they're hidden because their name is not mentioned because Shuddha Goswami, if he calls out name of a gopi, 6 months he's in trance. He cannot speak Bhagavatam. 7 days he has to complete Bhagavatam. So that's why he doesn't utter a word, the name of the gopi. He doesn't utter the name of the gopi. So same way, this is something very valuable for a devotee. And doesn't want to just openly reveal and reduce its importance. So this is one reason I can understand. Anybody like to share, add anything to this?
Prabhu, as there is given, we should not, means we should keep our spiritual master as a secret. Almost we घर पे टेम्पल में सारी जगह भी ऐसे पता चलता ही है सबको that who is our spiritual master.
Yeah, but you don't openly go and proclaiming everybody that is my spiritual master. He is my spiritual master. That is okay. Now sometimes people come to know, but we are careful that we just don't proclaim. That's what this mantra is. We should hide them. और किसी को alternate और कोई explanations पता है इसके? This is an injunction actually given in Sanatana Goswami Hari Bhakti Vilas is mentioned. Have you heard anything more regarding this?
Guruji, we are not
Yes.
in the pranam mantra of Guru means publicly also.
Yeah, that we don't know. Yesterday we discussed, right? So should we move forward? I think I given you some explanation what I understand. Why the gopis are hidden. Also, nazar, बच्चों को भी हाइड किया जाता है in culture because they're valuable, right? आपको नजर नहीं लगनी चाहिए किसी. So this is something very valuable to you. And you want to keep it protected, so you don't open that secret. आपका relationship को नजर नहीं लगना चाहिए. Okay. Any other question? से गोपी का और एक मतलब होता है गोभ्य पिबंती थी गोपी ये सब होता है. So go means indriya and pibanti means one who drink. Because this topic came, so I'm just adding. So one who with one's own all the senses, one who drink the nectar of Krishna. With eyes they drink the form of Krishna. With ears they drink the fruit of Krishna. So gobhya pibanti ti gopi. By all their senses they are drinking the nectar of Krishna. It's another meaning of gopi actually. Okay. Mataji said, because we are all from different gurus and keep unity among ourselves, we don't have to mention guru name unless asked. Yeah, that's one reason definitely. But here it is coming in a Sanatana Goswami Hari Bhakti Vilas as a general injunction that one should not reveal one's mantra, one's guru, one's mala, and one's ishtadev. These 4 things we should not reveal. What is the reason? So this is the reason we discussed actually, few reasons. That it's very sacred and we just don't want to open. It's very valuable. We just don't open that knowledge. Like Shukdev Goswami, the gopis are like spiritual master to Shukdev Goswami. So that's why he's very respectful. And you don't call out name of your spiritual master directly like that. You don't call out name of your father, husband like that. हम कैसे बुलाते हैं हमारे ये ऐसे हमारे ये वो ऐसे है ना. इंडियन कल्चर है कि अपना पति का नाम सीधा नहीं लेते ऐसे. उसी तरह से गुरु का भी नाम नहीं लिया जाता है. As a respect also, as a great respect because we respect them so much. I given you 3-4 reasons now. I think it should be good enough. Okay. So let's move forward now. What are the appropriate ways of presenting one's guru and what are the inappropriate ways of presenting guru in ISKCON? What are the inappropriate ways of presenting one's guru in ISKCON? Perform a skit in groups demonstrating some inappropriate ways of presenting ISKCON gurus. Yes. What are the inappropriate ways one can present one's guru?
Comparing different spiritual masters and saying that one is better than the other and that mine is best. He's
How you show that?
very dear.
How you show that? By making a inappropriate comparison between spiritual masters. It is not based on material platform. हमारे गुरु ना बहुत ऐसा गाते हैं कि ऐसे कोई गाते नहीं इस कॉन में. सबसे अच्छा गाते हैं हमारे गुरु. This is not the way we compare with God brothers and we glorify our spiritual master. When we are glorifying our spiritual master, we should not try to Vaspuja offering comparison to his God brothers. Because that is like offending other God brothers and that will not please spiritual master. Any other way? What is the inappropriate ways in which we can present our showcase our spiritual master? Yes.
Inappropriately spelling the name of Guru Maharaj.
Sorry.
Inappropriately spelling the name of Guru, like we should use some like Param Puja.
Actually, a question here ki that is okay. That is like we should be adding. That's we discussed. No, that's nice. But the point is, what are the inappropriate ways we'll be presenting in a public? Of course, this is one way, but it's about representing one's guru. So one way is like always wearing the T-shirt and caps of one's spiritual master and telling everybody that this is my spiritual master and you should follow him. Here we are talking about keeping Srila Prabhupada in the center of his thought, right? And if in a particular center, every day if somebody is wearing, all the devotees, disciples, they're wearing the T-shirts or caps of spiritual master, that they're openly promoting their guru. So here we are discussing about we should promote Srila Prabhupada because that will bring more unity in this cause. Then everybody will bring out their own spiritual master T-shirts. Or one Mataji just sent that publicly telling, our guru is so great, he has got 20,000 disciples, telling the numbers, and in this way comparison, making comparisons. या लेक्चर दे रहे हैं आप और हर लेक्चर में बोलोगे कि मेरे गुरु महाराज ने सिखाया, मेरे गुरु महाराज ने सिखाया, या ये महाराज ने सिखाया, बस एक ही गुरु महाराज को कोट करना. That's inappropriate way, right? We should be helping people to develop faith in Srila Prabhupada. Many times some people may get disturbed if it's only quoting from one devotee. So general etiquette while speaking Srimad Bhagavatam classes, as much as possible we should quote only Srila Prabhupada when you're giving a public gathering lecture in temple, as much as possible, so that it won't disturb other devotees. If you're quoting only one spiritual master, of course we can quote, I'm not telling you cannot quote at all, but only quoting one particular spiritual master all the time, right? Then this is not considered as very appropriate, because we are learning from so many spiritual teachers in ISKCON, and we are in an assembly where so many spiritual master disciples are there. What else?
Roji, if we are forcing people to take initiation from the spiritual master, we have taken initiation.
Yeah, like only keeping books of our own spiritual master always in a public space and promoting that and telling that these are the best books actually. And you can promoting also spiritual master, canvassing for spiritual master, you must take initiation from him. This is also not considered as appropriate behavior. Not following. I'm just reading from what it is said. Not following and behaving exactly what we learn from our spiritual master can have inappropriately give message, wrong message to others if you don't follow properly. Sometimes we see that some devotees promoting particular guru in their YouTube channel and all. Is it okay? It's not 100% okay. It's not wrong, but it's not 100% right also. That only you're promoting a particular spiritual master, because again we want to promote Srila Prabhupada so that we remain united. There's no insecurity. Everyone accepts Srila Prabhupada. So it will be more appropriate if we present Srila Prabhupada more than one's own. But sometimes one can. It's not absolutely one has one hasn't but one should also then include other devotees, senior devotees. We are one family. Last, anyone would like to share? Yes. Like posting, Acha Mataji sent me. It might be wrong, like raising funds for asking Lakshmi from God Buddhas in the name of spiritual masters. Yes. It's totally wrong. If you're raising money in the name of spiritual master for personal cause, there's no question. It's totally wrong. Or publicly, if you're having, let's say, one particular temple has disciples of only one particular spiritual master, then using the temple funds only for particular service of that guru, it's like hijacking the funds of the temple, actually serving the guru. And the temple funds are meant for serving the deities and devotees, or only promoting a particular guru in temple, because most of us, we belong to a particular temple whose most of us spiritual master is same, so we publicly post the pictures of the spiritual master everywhere. This also considers inappropriate. We should not publicly posting. Only when the spiritual master is coming, that time we can post pictures and know about the public programs, but not all throughout the year. We just maintain pictures of different spiritual masters, not different, like one or two spiritual masters or whom we want to promote is not considered as appropriate behavior. Yes, doing Guru Puja for our own spiritual master publicly most of the times. Yes, yes. Any question on this? Any point you want to add? तो प्रश्न है किसी को?
Prabhuji, I have one question. In ISKCON only, we know that how should we choose the spiritual master, so it should be in parampara and all that things. But the one point is that we should not accept spiritual master according to the external, means how expert he is in book distribution or in kirtan or etc. But nowadays means most of the youth, they have the vision. If I like kirtan, I will take diksha from this Maharaj. If I like this, I will take diksha from this. So is it wrong or right?
You may have a particular preference to particular limb of devotional service, and if somebody is expertly doing that and inspiring in that particular limb, then I don't consider it's wrong. Because if you're interested in Srimad Bhagavatam, that's what really attracts you. Somebody is really expert at Bhagavatam, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, and that inspires you most to take further shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam or Kirtan, then I don't think Mataji it's wrong. But one should observe for over a period of time. One should not immediately stamp decision. चलो आज अच्छा लगा मुझे, बहुत अच्छा कीर्तन किया, मैंने आज decide कर लिया. Because if you do something so quick, then there's a chance that you'll leave also so quickly. Right? So one should observe for almost for 1 year, 2 years. One should observe where my enthusiasm, my eagerness, my inspiration is sustained over the period of time, and then one should decide. How to understand Gurudev Ji in a transcendental level? So this Prabhu has asked me a question: how to understand my spiritual master situated in transcendental platform? So as long as we need not judge, but as long as my spiritual master is engaged in carrying out the duties of Krishna consciousness, 24 hours engaged in service, acting as per instruction of Srila Prabhupada, following all the principles of devotional service, showing a serious interest in bhakti and propagating that, serious attraction towards Krishna, chanting holy names, speaking Krishna Katha. We understand spiritual master is based on transcendental platform. Okay, bro? ठीक है? और कोई प्रश्न है किसी को? अभी आप बताइए, ये सारी गाइडलाइंस है तो भी ISKCON में इतना पक्का क्यों फॉलो नहीं होता है? Why the above guidelines are not always followed in ISKCON? What your guidelines are mentioned, why generally it doesn't happen? What might be possible reason?
Because the devotees are not aware of it. First of.
Okay. One thing is they're ignorant. Second thing, why do people promote one's own guru?
Due to weak Srila Prabhupada Ashray, Srila Prabhupada Padashray.
Yes, they are not yet understood actually that Srila Prabhupada is our greatest of all Shiksha Gurus and he's our most prominent connection. Thank you. Any more point?
Prabhuji, due to sentimentalism about their guru.
Sentimentalism attached, yes. Thank you, Guru. Rishi Kumar Prabhuji, yes, Guru.
They probably feel that if I bring candidates to my guru, then my guru will be very happy with me.
They compare managerial reasons. उनको लगता है कि गुरु महाराज जैसे ही प्रसन्न होंगे. Yes. या उनको लगता है कि उससे मेरा influence बढ़ेगा, है ना? मैं लेके आऊंगा, मेरे followers बनेंगे सारे. Why people promote their guru? They think that if I get, then they'll remain as my followers, and then I can, I can take their service as much as I want. This is inappropriate reason. Or my influence will grow because I'm getting people from my own fold, and they'll be under me, and then I'll become politically more powerful. Why? What are any more reasons actually? Why do people not follow these guidelines?
Sometimes some people accept guru as a fashion, like Prabhupada also told, like they accept as a fashion, like I am disciple of such and such guru, and all.
So they want to show, they want to use guru for their own promotion. They want to make guru also object of their decoration. Self-aggrandizing, using spiritual master. Any more reason?
Prabhu, weak philosophical knowledge.
Like
they don't know what is the meaning of coming to ISKCON and accepting guru at first.
Okay, just superficially being attached to ISKCON and showing that I'm his follower, but not actually following. Because these are the guidelines that Guru should follow, as we mentioned, GBC, and GBC has given these guidelines. So to please Guru, one should follow these guidelines, but they're just superficially following. Any other reason? People promote their Guru because I am great, so my Guru has to be great. It's more about one's own ego. मैं इतना महान हूँ कि मेरा देश भी महान है, मेरे गुरु भी महान है, सब कुछ मेरा, मैं जहाँ पे जन्म लिया वो भी महान है, सब कुछ महान है क्योंकि मैं महान हूँ सबसे ज्यादा. So it's nothing about guru actually, but that false ego that I want to, whatever I do, that is the best thing. I have that insecurity inside me that always I have to tell that my choices are the best, otherwise I don't feel secure. That ego is there, insecurity is there. That's why I keep on promoting. More than guru, actually I'm promoting myself. Look at this, I am a great disciple of this great spiritual master. Okay, so these are the few reasons, political, managerial, self-aggrandizing, these kind of reasons. If I bring people, then yeah, they'll be with me. These kind of reasons, yes. So what will happen if somebody does like that? What are the consequences of this? ऐसे खुद के हम inappropriately promote करते हैं, उसका consequence क्या होगा?
There is so much of chance of bad mouthing in people. If they don't get the right idea about our mission, they can get a wrong idea. Means
How?
बहुत बार कोई एक गलती हो जाती है, but people go and speaks in public. ये ऐसे ऐसे बोल रहे हैं. So because of him, many.
No, the question is, what are the consequences? If we inappropriately promote our guru, like this Prabhu has written, there will be groups of various gurus and Srila Prabhupada position will be minimized, right? And everybody will try to promote their guru. सब अपना showcase करेंगे कि देखो हम कैसे बड़े हैं. क्योंकि मैं जितना promote करूँगा उससे मतलब मैं बड़ा हूँ, हमारा group बड़ा है. And then everybody will have their own factions, and it will not be healthy in ISKCON. Any other thing which can happen? Then some people will feel insecure. What is this? Everybody is having their own groups and agendas, and I don't have that big group. People will feel insecure if their spiritual master is not promoted. Another spiritual master is promoted.
Prabhu,
increase in
many
conflicts and debates. एक माता जी ने भेजा increase in conflicts and debates. आप openly बता सकते हैं ना, सबको अच्छा लगेगा, आप devotees अलग-अलग बोलते हैं तो, है ना?
Prabhu, may I add?
Yes.
Many times, like I heard from senior devotees also, they said that when someone is bringing some disciple to Guru, but if the disciples, I mean to say that devotee's relationship with the Guru is not established, later on this devotee goes somewhere here and there, that devotee doesn't feel connected because he never had a connection to that Guru, and therefore he doesn't get nourishment, and therefore his future devotional progress is really in danger because he has personally not developed the relationship with the spiritual.
Very nice, very nice. कि भाई कोई लेके आया दीक्षा ले लिया, इसका कोई रिलेशनशिप बना ही नहीं गुरु के साथ में, कोई इंस्पिरेशन है ही नहीं, है ना? And then later he has to sustain himself. How will he sustain himself? He has not personally developed that faith, developed that love. If it's not personal choice, somebody's forced choice, then how you love that? So one should choose with a discrimination, and one should find out one's own reasons actually, looking in one's own heart, why I want to serve, accept this particular guru. And the actual purpose will not be fulfilled, that is devotional service. Just somebody is promoting this and that, but actual purpose to please our Guru Parampara, that won't be fulfilled. And there will be more conflicts and debates. My Guru, your Guru, he like this, you like that. And then the attention will go in different direction. So these are some inappropriate ways. Anything you want to add more? Okay, we'll read quickly. These things we'll read. I'll just share my screen. अभी हमको ये लग रहा है एक्चुअली, ये छोटी छोटी बातें हैं परंतु हम अच्छे से करेंगे. If the unity is lost, everything is lost. We'll discuss further. First, read this.
Presenting ISKCON Gurus. Disciples of ISKCON Diksha and Shiksha Gurus should not wear or publicly display Guru t-shirts, posters, bead bag, buttons, athletics, caps, etc. other than Srila Prabhupada. ISKCON Law Recommendation 6.4.8 Worship and Etiquette.
So some people may not be following, but be the change you want to see in the world. We should not think that if people are not following, why should I follow? At least we know what is the right thing now. Let's set the culture. Let's not be part of the problem. Let's be part of the solution. If some people are not doing okay, if we are in authoritative position, we can tell them. If we are not, at least we personally should follow this. We should not wait, enter India, enter world will follow, then I'll follow. Then it will never happen. So the purpose of this course is that individually all of us will learn these things and apply in our own life. And gradually the whole thing will change. Otherwise, if you keep on waiting for other devotees to follow these guidelines, then it will never happen.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
May I ask, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, at times we go somewhere or we are in our center and we see some devotee, to see he's a good devotee, but like as you said, trying to propagate or bring his Guru Maharaj's some things in focus and all that. Now, there can be many ways of thinking in this way that sometimes we can tell them, but if we see that, we don't have a connection with that devotee. So our telling, the person may not listen. Another option is that we actually tell to the senior of that devotee, the counselor of the devotee or authority of that devotee. From that, actually, it will go to that devotee. And that is one way. But at times when we go to other places, we don't know who's the counselor, neither we have connection. But so now in this case, we cannot tell that devotee because we don't have too much relationship with him. We don't know his counselor because his counselor may be located in some other city and all that. So in this way, in such situation, is it like this? We just sit and we just take other look and we just go sideways and we just continue our work.
Right.
And let him do the way he wants.
Right, Prabhu. Right. We cannot go and correct everyone. That's what I mentioned, that we follow in our lives. And if there are people who are under our authority, we may tell them. Otherwise, as ISKCON level, actually, this education need to be regularly given, and it should not only be given up. If you read the initial page of this book, it is written actually. It's meant for all ISKCON preachers, counselors, guides, mentors, authorities. It's not only for people who are supposed to get initiated. It's for all devotees. So these things need to be regularly highlighted in public forums, like Bhagavatam classes. So sometimes this point should come, so that the general education happens. And if people are educated, then won't do that. So rather than telling individual person, which is difficult, we cannot tell every individual person. But on a broad level, if this message is passed regularly, right? Even many of these things actually, when I went through this course, I learned that. Otherwise, हम भूल जाते हैं, पता भी नहीं रहता बहुत सारी चीजें. So education, I feel, is most important. That regularly at public forums, these things are also, along with the regular Bhagavatam, these things are also highlighted, which can bring about the unity in ISKCON.
Thank you.
Yes.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
I just had a question. That, as mentioned before, that we should not represent our guru's photos on t-shirt, caps, etc. Then why do we see that means in many of the bags, we have the photos and pictures of gurus?
Can you repeat the last statement, Mataji? Why do we see?
Why do we see that on the bead bag we find the pictures of gurus, like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj? I have seen.
People are not knowing.
So that offense.
Let's not take name, but point is people don't know. People are not aware about this. We saw many reasons. Right? So thing is, let people do what they're doing. If in our control, we can tell them, but at least we follow what is the right stand and tell who is coming under you now. Let's henceforward, the people you're going to preach, tell them also what is the right thing to do. Let other people do what they're doing, what we can do. Okay, Samiksha Mataji.
Prabhuji, but the bead bags are found in local gift shops of ISKCON. So we can't just catch a single person.
So this one are unappropriate ways. You are keeping picture of only one particular guru. In a gift shop, if the pictures are there should be pictures of multiple gurus should be there. Not just one guru you're promoting in a gift shop. Because you need pictures, right? And if the bead bag pictures are there, then it should be confirmed. It should be mentioned to temple authorities that how they're selling on a bead bag you put badges. How they're selling these badges actually. Badges selling should not be allowed in temple, particular guru, because this is not my rule. This is ISKCON law is telling this, right? So this is not proper as per ISKCON. How can ISKCON temple go against ISKCON law? You have to facilitate also. So the badges kind of thing should not be sold in the shops.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So that can be reported to temple managers. That, sir, that's what I learned, Prabhuji. I learned in ISKCON Disciples course, and I see here something different. Okay, read further.
ISKCON temple residents may keep photographs of ISKCON Diksha and Shiksha Gurus privately in their ashram quarters, but are not to display them publicly on ISKCON premises. Promoting occasional special preaching events may be an exception.
तो अपने गुरु महाराज के बड़े बड़े पिक्चर जब उनका कोई स्पेशल इवेंट है तो ठीक है, परंतु ऐसे पब्लिकली डिस्प्ले नहीं कर रहा है. आप आपके रूम में कहाँ पे लगा सकते हैं? रीड फर्दर. Who can read?
Websites prominently feature a picture of Srila Prabhupada. That ISKCON center officials shall be responsible to ensure that any and all websites published by the center prominently feature a picture of Srila Prabhupada on the introductory page. This picture should be larger than any other individual's photo, such as GBC, center president or guru. Srila Prabhupada should be addressed by his formal name and title. His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the ISKCON Society for Krishna Consciousness. 304 GBC statement on the position of Srila Prabhupada, March 2013.
Yes. So every website of ISKCON should have a bigger, larger picture of Srila Prabhupada, and his title should be properly written. Srila Prabhupada was very disturbed when he saw in the book that his name is not properly written. Founder Acharya has not written it from his name. So he understood that as one of the plots to move away, to move him away from his own position, actual position. Right? So Srila Prabhupada instructed that properly his name should be written. Not that he wanted to promote, but he knew that unless he is the center of ISKCON society won't survive. That's why Srila Prabhupada, his own humility actually had to tell these things. That you do this is the way you should do. Read further. Who will read?
Don't advertise, rather follow. It is not enough to repeatedly advertise that one is a devotee of Mahaprabhu by saying, I am Gauras. Rather, those who follow the practices taught by Mahaprabhu are understood to get the results of being the Lord's follower.
उसका मतलब क्या है कि मैं मेरे गुरु महाराज इसलिए आप गुरु का इंस्ट्रक्शन फॉलो करो तब आप एक्चुअल फॉलोअर बनोगे. ऐसा नहीं कि टी-शर्ट पहना है, फोटो लगाया है, बैज लगाया है. By doing all this I become follower of my spiritual master. No. Are you following the instruction of spiritual master? If you follow that, then you become real follower of your spiritual master. Let me see this book actually. Can you open your handbook? Okay, 13th chapter. We'll go to chapter number 13. Let me open the presentation. Wait. Relationship within ISKCON, the title of the chapter. What is the page number in the booklet? 60. So what is discrimination? What is written there? Can you read in the booklet? Page number 60.
Discrimination on the basis of Guru.
Yes.
Discrimination. The perceiving, noting, or making distinction or difference between things. Oxford English Dictionary, 2nd edition, Oxford University Press. Discrimination is the prejudicial treatment of an individual based solely on their membership in a certain group or category. It involves excluding or restricting members of one group from opportunities that are available to other groups.
Yes, discrimination मतलब क्या है? एक ग्रुप को अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया आपने और दूसरे ग्रुप को ना देना. Bias. So discrimination can also be called as a bias. That you're biased to certain people. You're favoring certain people and you're not favoring certain people. So please mention in ISKCON any appropriate distinction you see on the basis of a spiritual master. Appropriate distinction. ये बराबर है. आपने कहाँ पे देखा ISKCON में? You know that discrimination is right. You know, based on one's own spiritual master. Sometimes people are discriminated, and the discrimination is right. On what particular occasion or days or places, when the discrimination is shown, that will not be considered as wrong.
Vyas Puja, spiritual master.
Yeah, what discrimination happens on that day?
You publicly like glorify spiritual master and worship.
Yeah. So now this discrimination is for the, of course, for spiritual master also. His pictures are that day put in a big, like big pictures will be put and his quotes will be put and all that. And for devotees, is there a discrimination shown by management? Appropriate discrimination in ISKCON.
Hare Krishna. In Vyas Puja celebration, offerings are most of the time given by the disciples of their particular gurus.
Right. So that is discrimination. No, that is allowed. Okay, because when spiritual master is there, so those devotees can come forward and can make maximum offerings, and that discrimination is appropriate. Any more discrimination, appropriate discrimination like that?
Guruji, when any specific program is going on, for example, if any program related to ministry or some Maharaj is specifically working in some field, that time if posters of Maharaj is broadcasting over the temple premises or something.
We're talking about the now no discrimination with people, actually, the general disciples.
In a particular temple program, allowing for Mangalartis or Bhagavatam classes prominently to some devotees.
This is inappropriate discrimination. कि बस उनके disciples को chance दिया जा रहा है. अभी मैं appropriate discrimination का बोल रहा हूँ कि ये बराबर है, it's not considered as wrong. The discrimination is shown.
Distributing the in charges in the post accordingly for different gurus like that.
Yeah. Just say, like, let's say I got a post I got to give for book distribution, and already a certain spiritual master is emphasizing book distribution. You're a disciple of that spiritual master. We really want to do that. So you may discriminate. Okay, his guru is anyways inspiring him to do book distribution, and we need him in charge for book distribution. So let him give that post. Let him take that post. So that is right discrimination, right? Because anyways he's inspired. If other devotees put and his spiritual master is inspiring some other direction, then that devotee will be confused anyways. So that is the right discrimination. Any other thing? Nice point.
If there is a small project which a temple is going to start up, having devotees with groups of different disciples and coordinating that whole project, that is also a good idea. So that unity goes, the mood goes, and every disciple of the different gurus may have different qualities, and that all the project will become very nice project.
I'm asking discrimination. Who is discriminated here rightly?
The authority, the president.
कैसे discriminate किया उन्होंने?
नहीं discriminate नहीं किया, मैं बोल रहा हूँ it is like
नहीं करना चाहिए, मैं बोल रहा हूँ right discrimination क्या है, करना चाहिए. जैसे आपने पहले वाला बराबर बताया कि इंचार्ज particular devotee को इंचार्ज बनाया.
If a particular project is there, if they are starting a new project or a small center or sub center, then some devotee is good in preaching, some is good in managing funds, some is good in. So जो अलग अलग discipline को अलग अलग ये है और उनको उस सर्विस में engage किया जाए, so that is also good discrimination.
Yeah. But we are talking a discrimination based on spiritual master, which is right. So some examples were right actually. Just say, you want to speak? समीक्षा माता अपने माइक ओपन किया था, बताना चाहते कुछ?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if some guru is coming, so we make posters and post it on YouTube or social media. So the ideas of that particular disciple is considered.
Right. उनके डिसाइपल को डिसीजन ले सकते हैं, उनके डिसाइपल्स उनके लिए कुक कर सकते हैं, उनके डिसाइपल को सेवा का चांस दिया जा सकता है. कोई यात्रा जा रहा है गुरु का, तो उनके डिसाइपल्स को छुट्टी दिया जा सकता है कि भाई ठीक है, आपका सेवा हम संभाल लेंगे, आप यात्रा जाके आओ. या आपके गुरु महाराज के व्यास पूजा है, आपका सेवा हम संभालेंगे, हम कुकिंग करेंगे, आप अटेंड करो. So these are all right discriminations. Are you getting? All of you. Now tell what are the wrong discrimination based on spiritual master. How the disciples are wrongly discriminated on the name of the spiritual master.
Prabhuji, for example, if in a temple, the particular spiritual master has more number of disciples and they are promoting, they are keeping more photos of that spiritual master, and the other devotees who have other spiritual masters, they are neglected.
Yeah, the management should make sure that the devotees get opportunity, even those who are lesser in number. Their Vyas Puja are also celebrated actually. The facilities given to them. They are allowed to use the kitchen. They are allowed to use the facility. If they're not allowed, then there'll be then they'll be wrongly, they'll be discriminated. Any other way?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, based on this, I just have one question. Only particular Guru Vyas Puja is celebrated in ISKCON. Why not everyone's Vyas Puja is celebrated? For example,
बोलिए माता जी.
For example, For example, his only Radha Govind Maharaj. I have never seen that his Vyas Puja is celebrated. So how come? Will you please explain?
Mataji, in our temple, Radha Govind Maharaj Vyas Puja is celebrated by the disciples of Maharaj. And it is their responsibility to inform other disciples, actually, aspiring disciples. In our temple, whoever has, the temple gives all the facility. If the disciples want to celebrate Vyas Puja of particular spiritual master, in Pune temple, they will give room, they'll give kitchen, they'll allow you to celebrate that, actually.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Publicly, there are the 2 GBCs are there, and their Vyas Puja is grandly celebrated. In Pune temple, there are 2 GBCs for Pune temple. Gopal Krishna Maharaj and Radha Swami Maharaj. So in our temple, because they are GBCs of the same temple, and there are a huge number of disciples. So in a little more bigger proportion, but that is also is not publicly displayed. Vyas Puja, the disciples do that job. Right? Because the number is big, that's how it appears bigger. Otherwise, every disciple is supposed to can carry out the Vyas Puja and they are allowed. But the disciple have to be there. But if there are no disciples, the disciples will take a lead and temple will give facility.
Prabhu, isn't this a discrimination that majority is considered and minority is not considered?
No, it's not where it's not considered. I'm telling even the minority disciples are there, they're allowed to celebrate that Vyas Puja. Now the temple will give facility, kitchen, prasadam, everything temple will provide. You need to come forward and propose the plan that I want to celebrate this Vyas Puja.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
It's allowed. Yes. Any other inappropriate discrimination?
Prabhu, one may try to take lead all times. Yes.
Based on spiritual master, how the devotees are inappropriately discriminated. इसका example आप कैसे relate करोगे आप case से? जैसे एक डिवोटी आ रहा था पंचतत्व मंदिर से बाहर जा रहा था समाधि की तरफ, बारिश हो रहा था, है ना? तो दूसरे डिवोटी के पास एक छाता था, and they were going together, and this devotee asked, Prabhu, whose disciple are you? जिनके पास छाता था, one who had the umbrella, and he told, I am disciple of so and so. As soon as he heard that, he told mood got changed. और भरी बारिश में बीच में बोल दिया उन्होंने, in the middle of this so much rain was happening that time. And middle of that situation, he told, I'm going in different direction. So you please go in this. I can't help you. Sorry. And he turned away. He went back, right? Just after hearing the name of the spiritual master. So it's not right that just by hearing the name of particular spiritual master, you don't cooperate, you don't give any facility, you don't support. It's not right. Yes. Any other example?
Puji, there may be case that the devotees who are minor, so they may not get enough cooperation and funds to celebrate their Vyas Puja, their spiritual master.
Actually, temple का funds होता ही नहीं इसमें, सबको अपना अपना funds, even जो बड़ा Vyas Puja होता है ना, somebody sponsors that actually. The temple doesn't allocate any funds. ऐसा नहीं है. Temple
Means disciple arranges these things.
Yeah, but it may happen. As an example, sorry, मैं थोड़ा पुणे का case ले रहा हूँ. Yeah, but it may happen. Yeah, it may happen like that. That's the wrong way of. Only few people get funds, resources, and other people don't get. As in,
or maybe Prabhuji, devotees may think that I am minor in number, so why should I celebrate? Because they are in greater number, so they are celebrating.
So they themselves are discriminating, but nobody is discriminating against them. You're getting, वो खुद ही कर रहे हैं. वो तो उनका choice है. एक सेकंड ना, कुछ पढ़ने के लिए है क्या देखते हैं यहाँ पे. Okay. List some of the possible long-term consequences for ISKCON arising from inappropriate favoritism or bias on the basis of Guru. Now, page number 60 खोलो, वहाँ पे लिखो आप. Please open the page number 60 and please write down long-term consequences for ISKCON arising from inappropriate favoritism or bias on the basis of Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
One case may arise like if one disciple is president or like in higher position in ISKCON, a particular guru, so that particular guru's disciples are given more like importance.
More important services, more opportunities, more holidays, more everything more. Right. That is inappropriate discrimination. Yes.
So this may be the fix.
This is also a nice example. Yes. So now you got to solve what is the result of that. What will happen if these things happen in ISKCON? If devotees are inappropriately discriminated on basis of the spiritual master, what kind of consequences will be there? Page number 60, please write down. One Prabhu has sent one. Devotees who are less in number will feel discouraged and leave devotional service. Yes, they will feel, what is this? No, we are being discriminated. So why should I contribute for service where I'm not properly respected? They'll be discouraged. Anything else?
Rosie, like now in ISKCON there is a family culture. Means whenever we see and devotees, we feel that they are, we feel like they are our own people. But if start discriminating on the basis of spiritual master, then this family culture will be lost, and we will be divided.
Yes, we'll be divided. We'll be divided. Yes, thank you for sharing. Then we'll not feel like one family, and the deep bonding between devotees, like a family members, there's a deep bonding. That deep bonding will never happen. और क्या consequence होंगे?
Different factions will only break. Like ISKCON के बहुत सारे भाग हो जाएंगे.
Yes, there will be so many factions in ISKCON, and unity will be lost. And there's no unity, then people are attracted not by the temple, not so much. No, people are attracted superficially. Initially, they may come. They want to remain committed devotees over the period of time. They have to see love and unity between devotees. If they find fighting, if they find quarrel, bias, discrimination, then what kind of message are they carrying? And will they really commit to such kind of place where there's no love between devotees, no love between the members of that society? How they can give their heart if they find bias, discrimination? Then people will not be totally committed. They'll be superficially committed, and people are superficially committed. You cannot take challenging services. Only when people are surrendered, are totally committed, you can take on very challenging services, because people people are ready to give everything, their lives, their mind, their heart, their wealth, everything they're ready to give. But if you are superficially committed, then they show up sometime, they'll never show up sometime. Then in this situation, how you can run bigger projects or take some Herculean services? It should be very difficult. So we got to have our own very strong sense of brotherhood, actually. Then people can come forward, give up all the discrimination. And when we are acting selflessly, so this is also extended selfishness. I am great, my guru is great, my community is great, his disciples are great. This sense of selfishness, extended selfishness, so-called spiritual, but actually it's selfishness. And when people find we are selfish, then they become selfish, because we are inspiring other people to bring out their higher nature or lower nature based on our own exhibition, our own qualities. By our own activities, we are either inspiring their higher nature or lower nature. So when we show selfishness, there are different forms of selfishness will come out. And everybody is selfish in this society, then how we can do welfare for all the people of this world? Very difficult. So this is just a selfishness covered with a spiritual coating, right? May not yet understood the essence. I still have sense of insecurity and my own sense of sense gratification. But I'm covered with coating, spiritual coating, that now I'm doing it for my spiritual master. No, but how is it affecting the mission of ISKCON? Is it helping the mission of ISKCON? Or am I creating more obstacles for new devotees? They're surrendered to ISKCON. So by being a selfless, so actual standard should be when the devotees of other Guru Maharaj are there, we should be even more kinder to them actually than even our own God brothers. we should extend even more support to them, just to bring that trust and love. That we should be giving even more facilities, actually, that they should not feel left out. We should be even more careful, right? So we got to walk an extra mile, actually, when there people are in minority, less number of people are there, just to give them confidence that they are also allowed, they are accepted here. And when they find that shelter and love, then they will also be selfless, and that selflessness spreads everywhere, right? So this actual standard, that when other disciples, the disciples of other Guru Maharaj, they request, we are more kinder to them, actually. So sometimes certain things are compromised, actually. It's called right beyond right. We may feel, अरे हमारे गुरु महाराज का फिर किधर है, हम लोग इतना स्टोर में इतना सारा इंस्ट्रक्शन दे के रखा है. But just to have that unity and that combined force, sometimes certain things we seem to be right, even we might have pure intention, but we are ready to follow these instructions because on a greater sense, actually, we want that unity. We want people, devotees together. We want this mission to remain united. We don't want to develop insecurity in hearts of others. Although it's not that every person who is promoting one's guru has insecurity or no self-aggrandizement. He may have his love, genuine love. The point is also right beyond right, actually, that he is doing something, but other people may not be that mature. Looking at this person, they will also start promoting, and then the factions will come out. The person who really understands, who is more mature, then he has to maintain more restraint, actually, just to maintain that unity, although he has pure intentions. Are you getting this point? So sometimes it may look a little hard, and what is this? No, ISKCON has put so many restrictions. हमारे गुरु के प्रति हम प्रेम भी नहीं जता सकते openly. नहीं, but उसका consequence क्या होगा? लोग insecure हो जाएंगे, factions बन जाएंगे. ISKCON का मिशन नहीं चलेगा. The right beyond right is ultimately we have to move forward, actually, and connect as many souls as possible and connect them to Srila Prabhupada. So certain restrictions we have to accept on ourselves. They may look a little harder and difficult, but for greater good of the society, we got to accept that. Any question? Yes, Madhu.
Prabhu, just we discussed about all the problems regarding discrimination of gurus and discrimination of disciples of particular group. Then what is the solution to it?
So
We discussed problem, but not solution.
Solution to discuss, right? I told we should give more opportunity to disciples of other gurus. One thing I discussed, right? We should be more kinder to them. Nobody should feel left out. And we should not, we should be careful not promoting our guru in such a way that it will create insecurity in the hearts of others. We should follow all the injunctions given here, ISKCON law, whatever is telling us. We should promote Srila Prabhupada. So these are the things we should be doing. Okay, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
और कोई प्रश्न किसी को? Rishi Kumar Prabhu, you want to add anything?
Prabhu, you have already taken everything so wonderfully, and so many devotees have spoken. I appreciate, Prabhu. Your sincerity, your maturity, everything has come into this course, Prabhu. Thank you.
Rangaradhika Mataji, आप आज तो there, you want to add? Rangaradhika Mataji, you there?
Prabhu, our
Yes.
Ajanita Prabhu is also there. You may request him to also speak.
Ajanita Prabhu.
Then there is Vishwas Jogrekar, who is actually our very senior devotee. Now he is in Australia. He is Vishwatma Prabhu actually. So if he is there, he would also like.
Prabhuji, please add. Anyways, this is the last session and just 2-3 slides are remaining. We have time. क्या नाम बताया प्रभु जी आपने उनका? हाँ, विश्वेश जोगड़ेकर प्रभु जी.
He is Vishwatma Prabhu.
Vishwatma.
Simadhar Prabhu is also there.
Simadhar Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, you wanted me to say something?
Yes, Prabhu, please add your reflections.
No, I think all this IDC course has been quite eye-opener. We have over last 22 years of my being connected to ISKCON. I've seen many scenarios or cases that we heard in this course were very relevant. And had this course been there couple of decades back, it would have helped us a lot. But nevertheless, I think it has come up quite well and very appropriate for us to develop this maturity in how we behave in this Vaishnav community. And yeah, I think it's very appropriate and very useful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Simadhar Prabhuji, would like to add? सच्चिदानंद ने क्या लिखा प्रभु जी का नाम क्या है? सच्चिदानंद स्वामी. When we do any function celebration, Prabhu ji send some message. चला गया वो. Then minor disciples should be given appropriate encouraging sevas to feel them connected and inspired. Yes, Prabhu. Definitely, I can convey this feedback to ISKCON Pune management. I am not in management position right now. Yeah, but I can share this feedback. और कोई डिवोटी को कुछ ऐड करना है, कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना है? This is a group discussion, huh? This is a group discussion. I'm not teaching this. I'm just discussing along with all of you. Most of the answers you only give it. Yes, somebody is telling something.
Yes, Prabhu, I have one question. Means we, as Sanatan Goswami told that we should not disclose our spiritual master, but as I have seen in devotees' homes, they have kept photos of their spiritual master in their home. Can we keep, even if many people visits the home, it is not a secret?
Yeah, this is not very hard and fast instruction. There are other instructions also there. One should worship one spiritual master, one should offer his praise, one should develop that connection. So it's not only one instruction. But we can take the essence that unnecessarily we should not try to just promote and always put it. Okay, we are doing in a mood of, you want to worship, you want to personal level. It's not kept for promotion in your home when you keep it. So higher principle, you have kept it for your own personal connection, so that you develop, deepen your connection with your spiritual master, and you follow his teachings to serve Srila Prabhupada. Basically. Now, indirectly, some promotion is happening, that's fine. But one should not go out of the way to just promote. That's the point we need to understand. We are personal movement, so it's very appropriate that in your home, you should have a picture of your spiritual master, just to connect with him. I don't see anything wrong in that. अजय निताय प्रभु जी, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I think this course is really good. It is quite thought-provoking, and as Vishwatma Prabhu was saying, had it been earlier, probably it would have been better. But better, I mean, it's never late to bend. So it's very nice. And secondly, I think you have also conducted it very nicely. You have kept it very interactively, and earlier I was like 4 hours is too much. I mean, at a stretch, I never even studied for 4 hours at a stretch. But so attending and listening intently and so much of thought-provoking. Earlier, I thought it was impossible, but I think you did it very nicely. You kept it very interactively, and I could take it for 4 hours basically. So thank you very much. And I feel the participants have also contributed very nicely. In fact, many suggestions and answers I felt I could not answer, but they have really contributed. So thanks to everyone.
Intelligent devotees. So I'm grateful. Actually, I'm doing this very first time. So I wanted to seek your forgiveness that this is the very first time I'm giving this IDC. And I wanted to study this whole week actually. I can narrate more past and Mr. Prabhupada. But I had like every day 6-7 hours camp. I'm in Hyderabad right now. Last 6 days was a camp given by Radhesham Prabhuji. So, and Loknath Maharaj is here. And Bhakti Raghu Maharaj, so many things happening here. So I a little bit struggled to, but I took out actually time and I could prepare.
आप भी ऐसे रहो ऐसे ना उनको पता चलना चाहिए मैं अच्छा नहीं हूँ मुझे एक्स्ट्रा
म्यूट करेंगे yes so I took out some time found some time and prepared, but I would have loved to prepare even more better and present in the best possible way. So thank you for following. This is very first time actually I'm conducting this, and my eyes also opened when I read the content and when I heard some reference classes. I got no, it's a long time actually. We heard these things, these kind of things. Some things I never heard actually. Okay, so I think we should take it to Rangadika Mataji's come.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just had one question that in our altar, there are photos of specific gurus in main altar. Only 2-3 gurus. So why? May you please tell the reason for this action?
कौन से altar में? Temple के?
In main altar. Yes, Radha Vrindavan. I have seen 2-3 photos prominently.
Okay, so what is your point?
His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj, I have seen the picture of him, and His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and one more was there.
Okay.
So only why these 3 prominent? Will you please answer?
कहाँ पे
I had
आपके
this
altar
question from since very long, so I remember.
किसके
Not
altar?
my altar, temple altar.
No.
Temple
In our
altar.
altar, there never pictures are never kept by a temple. Whenever the pujari worships, he has to keep the picture of his own spiritual master there. समझो आपने कोई गुरु से दीक्षा लिया, तो आप वो फोटो लेके आओगे आप आपके गुरु महाराज का, और वर्शिप के समय रहेगा. You will never find any devotee's picture in our ISKCON temple altar apart from the worship time. Sometimes the pujari may forget, and it may be there for a longer time. But ideally, as soon as your puja is over, you are supposed to take the picture and keep it right place, not publicly. So, because they're maximum devotees of, they're disciples of maximum disciples of these, spiritual master, what you mentioned, they're there. That's why you see more times. But ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है कि temple में इनके गुरु को ही इनके दीक्षित, only these disciples will be given the deity services, and this will not be gonna. There's no rule such a rule like that.
And Prabhuji, what is the reason for bringing Diksha Guru's photo while doing puja in altar? Is there any reason specific?
Because through Diksha Guru, your Guru, you offer your worship to Guru, and through Guru it goes to Prabhupada. Prabhupada takes to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. The Guru Parampara, we are connected to Parampara through our Guru.
Prabhuji, as we said, Prabhupada is preeminent Diksha Guru, so why can't we consider him just like commonly? Why this why this rule made, and from when it was being practiced?
Because along with that, we are also personal movement, and we recognize, ISKCON. That's why otherwise initiation be Rutvik type hi dete the na. So we recognize the Guru has a role to play actually in the life of devotee, because he is the connection point between that devotee and Prabhupada. He is one who is revealing the teachings of Prabhupada. He is the one who is helping that devotee surrender unto Prabhupada. So that devotee is a connecting link between that devotee and Srila Prabhupada, helping that devotee to setting with one personal example to how to understand. So that contribution, very strong contribution is there in that devotee's life of that spiritual master. So we cannot neglect that. And we are personal movement. So that connection, if somebody wants actually, right, he can, means he's supposed to actually. Being a Diksha Guru is not, a Diksha Guru has no role. Right? Diksha Guru has his own role. Although Shiksha Parampara, you mentioned Shiksha wise our names, But our Diksha Gurus are also prominent Shiksha Gurus also. It's not that Diksha Gurus are not Shiksha Gurus. Srila Prabhupada is most prominent. That's why there are many things related to Srila Prabhupada we do, right? We only worship Srila Prabhupada. We only celebrate the biggest Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada. Mostly we distribute only his books. We read his books. We always chant his mantra in our Pranati mantra, even while offering, doing worship. So Srila Prabhupada is not neglected. But at the same time, we don't neglect personal or spiritual master also, because he's a connecting point. He's inspiring us. He's also one of our Shiksha Gurus. Being a personal movement, we are okay, na Mataji?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
Acha. Now I'm getting this. You told earlier that one should not take Guru's name without using his holiness. But we find name of Narottam Das Thakur and तो हम लोग श्रीला लगाते हैं ना, हमें आइडियली बोलना चाहिए श्रीला नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर. And Thakur is also title actually. Mahashay, Thakur, these are Vaishnava titles. ऐसे नहीं बोलते नरोत्तम दास head like that. No. Srila Rupa Goswami. Goswami is a title. Thakur is a title. Bharat Prabhu, getting Srila is a title. Goswami is a title. Mahashay is a title. Thakur is a title. So we're adding that. This Prabhu asked that no, like if we are supposed to add his holiness in front of our Guru, then why Acharya's name we directly chant. So I'm mentioning that we add Srila, Goswami, Narottam, Das Thakur, Thakur, Mahashay. So we add these titles to the name of our Acharyas. Okay. Any more question? Okay, I'll share and last few slides are remaining. We'll quickly read that. I will try to summarize. Just 20 minutes are remaining now. We'll read.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please read.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by your friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me." Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.8. Lord speaking to the sons of King Prachina Barisha.
The point is this Prachitas did underwater austerity for thousands of years. But Krishna is not telling I am pleased with your austerity. What he's telling, I am pleased by friendly relationships among you. That's what has attracted me. So in this Kali Yuga, where there is a time of factions, when there is a time of quarrel and hypocrisy, when we show that unity and love, it will definitely attract Krishna. So this is what we learn from here. So even you want actually to attract Krishna, because the whole purpose of our devotional service is to attract Krishna's grace, and not by our austerity. The greatest austerity is actually how we maintain cooperation, not how long I keep fast, or how much I walk, Dandavati Parikrama I do. No, how much I cooperate when some decision has come from authority. How do I surrender to that decision? I walk in a line. I don't cross that line. That is a great austerity actually. Otherwise, there's no point in our so many other austerities. Because we are displeasing Srila Prabhupada in that way. We are displeasing, we are creating hindrance in the movement of ISKCON. So that austerity will be simply show off. Dushtaman tumi kisera Vaishnava. What kind of Vaishnava? Only for name, only for sake of a name and fame, actually you're going and doing all these austerities. Right? Tava Harinama keval kaitav. Your Harinama is only duplicious. Because externally you're not cooperating, not surrendering, not humbling yourself. So it's important that we cooperate. This is the biggest austerity in ISKCON actually we can do, is we cooperate when situation needs that we need to surrender, we need to cooperate, we need to give opportunity to others. We do that. That we need to understand. And that will really please Krishna. Who will read this?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself wanted our cooperation. He is God. And therefore, cooperation is very important thing. No saying, I have got so great ability, I can do. No, simply by cooperation, we can do very big thing. United we stand, divided we fall. This is our. So the strong in pushing on Krishna consciousness, Krishna will help and Krishna will help. He is the strongest. Still, we must be combined together. Room conversation.
Yes. So I should not think that I can do alone. I got a great ability. No. Simply by cooperation, we can do very big things. So if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk long, walk together. They say like that. आपको जल्द पहुंचना है कहाँ पे? ठीक है, थोड़े समय में जल्द पहुंचना है तो अकेले भागो आप. और तो आपको लंबा जर्नी जाना है ना? Spiritual life is a long journey actually. We got to learn. Our missions are really long-term missions. Nothing is short-term. So we need to be together with each other, helping each other, so that we are there with each other in the time of our greatest need, chanting for each other. And we don't have any envy when we are living our body. We are not have envy for each other, but we have all love for each other. So it will need our cooperation. Then only that feelings will come. Can you read? This is the last one of the last instruction actually. Read.
Your love for me will be shown.
Everybody can read actually this.
Your
Your love for me.
Love for me will be shown. Cooperate. Keep this institution together
Cooperate to keep this institution together after I am gone.
Volume 6.5. I have done my part.
Yes, repeat behind me. Your love for me.
Your love for me.
Your love for me.
Your love
for me
will be shown.
Will be shown.
will be shown
By how much?
By
how much
you cooperate.
you
cooperate
To keep this institution together.
to
keep this institution together
After I am gone.
After
after I am gone.
Srila Prabhupada didn't say in the end actually how many books you distribute.
अभी बोल रहे हैं.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is not saying here that you can show your love to me by how many books you distribute, how many temples you build, how many people you bring in Krishna consciousness, how many items you cook for me on my Vas Puja day, how many offerings you write for me, how many austerities you do, how many Ekadashi fast you do, how many rounds you chant. Srila Prabhupada is saying, if you really want to show your love for me, do we need to show love to Srila Prabhupada? Do you want to express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada? Do you agree that we need to show our love to Srila Prabhupada? We have to reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada. Everybody agrees? Thumbs up. Right. We got to show our love to Srila Prabhupada, right? For whatever things he has done for us. Now what is asking us to do? What Srila Prabhupada is asking us to do? He's not asking us to chant a number of rounds. He's not asking us to distribute a number of books. He's not asking us to do 100 Dandavati Parikrama. He's not asking us to go 100 times to Mayapur. He's not asking us to actually bring so many people. He's asking, please cooperate with each other. Everything will happen. If you do this, other things will definitely happen. Because Srila Prabhupada once said, ISKCON is so powerful, no outside person energy can destroy ISKCON. But only inside. If we fight, if we not cooperate, if the factions, then we can break ourselves. Our philosophy is so strong, nobody can defeat us. But if we don't cooperate with each other, then there is no hope for us. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, when he had this Bagh Bajar Gaudiya Math, it was all made up in marble, beautiful. One Grasta, he donated everything, all his life saving, and beautiful temple came. And they were fighting with each other. I want this room, I want that room. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, what he said? What he said?
There will be fire.
Yeah, there will be fire in mud. Agun buji, no, agun, aag lag jaye. Why? Because people are not ready to cooperate. Everybody want their own selfish desire. They want to get it fulfilled. So then, if that is a nature, then we cannot stand together and the movement will not remain actually for the greater good. So Srila Prabhupada said that whenever this external force, actually Kauravas and Pandavas, they were together, they were 105. So Maya's challenges are enormous in Kali Yuga. We are very less number of devotees. Very, very less, 0.01% something, or lesser than that, 0.001% something. And we have to fight against Maya. We got to convince all these people. So if they have to come to Krishna consciousness, irrespective of all our external differences, little bit differences, there are so many commonalities are there which we focus upon. All our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, our Tilak, our Kantimala, our subtitle Das, Dasi, everything is common. So many things we share with each other. We have so much to relate with each other. So why to unnecessarily superficially discriminate for a minor, for only for few things actually, and create factions? If we can support and help each other, cooperate with each other, and then we can achieve something very huge and grand for success of Srila Prabhupada. Yes. So this is the ultimate message of IDC actually, that we should keep Srila Prabhupada in the center. And if we keep in the center, then entire ISKCON will be united. And if we are united, then we can really withstand the force of Maya, and actually we can push back the force of Maya and we can really preach. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any question again? Last 10 minutes are remaining. Any feedbacks? Any comments? Any questions? Yes. Any reflections? Rang Radhika Madhu, you are calling you. Sometimes all senior devotees were giving their.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Prabhuji, I was listening, but actually I have a house program at my place, so I couldn't switch on the camera. I was.
We were asking you to share because all senior devotees share.
Prabhuji, I'm not senior, I'm also learning, but yeah, Prabhuji, it was very wonderfully explained by you. Many concepts we heard, but to nail them into our minds, it was your very good job. Like preeminent guru, Shiksha guru, then spiritual master, everything was very much explanatory and deep. I really enjoyed learning with you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for all these learnings and reflections for us. Thank you.
You can give me correction also. This is very first time I'm giving.
Yeah, no, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji doesn't seem to be first time. It was so wonderfully explained. It was not the first time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Any
you
other
so
people want to add the reflection, the comments, their sharings, questions? Till the time you think, okay, I'll give you 1 minute to think, to add here, you can type also. I'll call BVRV people and they'll give more idea about the exam part. Okay, I'll quickly call them.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I'll just quickly call the BVRV devotees and check with them what is their exam plan, or ask them to come online and share with all of you. Till that time, you can think and type, or you can share also. I'm listening parallelly.
I just wanted to ask, in case while reading the booklet, if we get any doubt, how can we connect?
Acha, if you want to add anything further, I'll type my email ID here. Note that. Or my number.
You can put it in chat box.
I'm putting. There's one devotee here. His name is Vishwakirti Prabhu. He's doing Kirtan. Every day 6 hours he'll do Kirtan. Every day he'll go for Harinam alone. If nobody's there, last 30 years he's been doing here. Can you imagine? He's very sweet. Melodious singer also. Okay, I'm sharing my email ID here. And my number also. If you want our captain book, I am sharing. because this is one service I've done for Srila Prabhupada and introducing Srila Prabhupada. So I'm sharing my Google form also. If somebody want to order, you can just order in the Google form. I think it's there on Amazon also. Is one number. Okay, and let me share this book if somebody wants. Because this is on Srila Prabhupada, I'm taking liberty of Srila. Yes, Mataji.
Toshin Nimai Prabhu, can I just say something?
Yes, Mataji.
Dear devotees, about this book, so we have a group of Matajis who do a class in the evening around 8:45 or 9 o'clock, so that all the Matajis are free and for around 30 to 45 minutes. So there's a Mataji in the group whose son is just 10 years old. And that kid, no, he's not 10, he's 13. So his name is Narayan, and he has a habit of reading the book. So that day he did not have any book, and his mother just received a copy of the Captain book. So he just the mother gave the book to the son. And in a day, like from there he started and he went on reading. In one day he could complete something around 100 pages or something. And he's telling his mom, wow, mom, such a lovely book. Please tell thank you to that auntie who gave you the book. And when we started reading the book, it was so fantastic. It is a very simple language, but very profound. There are many concepts that we don't know. Of course, here and there we know, but Prabhuji has written it so nicely and in such simple language. I would, of course, recommend everyone to just read the book. It's very wonderful. So earlier, I just knew there was a book, but when I started reading in the group, I realized how good the book is. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So the book is on Srila Prabhupada actually. That's why I am taking liberty to promote that one.
Yes.
And the book also. This forum is a different forum, but this forum is all to glorify Srila Prabhupada. And I'll recommend not only my book. My book is very initial actually. If you're already read Leela Amrut, you know many things. But please utilize your time in reading Prabhupada biographies. I really regret people are not doing that. In my first year in Krishna consciousness, I really enjoyed it. I almost read, personally, I read 5-6 biographies in my very first year of Krishna consciousness. Transcendental Diary and Srila Prabhupada, Transcendental Adventure in Australia. And then I read Srila Prabhupada, Apur Leela Amrut I read, and Servant of Servant, My Glorious Master. So many books actually. These are all fantastic books. And if you really want to remain enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, you want to preach, you want to do something for Srila Prabhupada in mission, I recommend you reading Srila Prabhupada biographies very regularly in your life. You'll be really inspired and you'll truly understand how Srila Prabhupada applies all these principles. Otherwise, these things will remain theoretical for us. So do that. Recordings, BVR will provide, actually. BVR will provide the recordings. Okay. I sent a Google form link. Those who want to book, they can fill that Google form link. And the trading group also, I think, I don't know because I'm not part of that. Any question, any feedback here? Okay. 6:58. My God. 1 second. I'm calling these two movies. Just couple of minutes. Huh? They are not picking my call. I believe they can share with you guidelines on your WhatsApp. Do you have any WhatsApp group for this batch, IDC batch? How they're communicating with you? So WhatsApp group.
IDC English group.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, there is.
Yeah. Okay. So on WhatsApp group, you will get further instructions. I'll ask them to share instructions regarding exam because they didn't pick up my call. So I'm not able to have them connect with you right now here. चलो आप रेडी हो? किसी कुछ बताना है या क्लोज करें? बताना है, पूछना है. So I also enjoyed. Many devotees, very new actually. Means I got to interact with all of you. Some devotees I know near Mataji is part of those sessions. But many of you actually first time I got to interact, and it was really wonderful. Many of you shared many nice points and really contributed to this session. As I mentioned, it was a kind of discussion. All of you contributed so much actually in this session. So really grateful for that. And I also got to learn a lot in your company, and hope that will again have sometime we'll come together and have some learning experiences. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Hari Hari. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhu.
so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Hope to see you.
Thank you so much,
Sometime
Prabhuji.
in NVCC. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Samiksha Mataji, Piyush Prabhu, Shubham Prabhu, Achyutanand Prabhu, Amitananda Prabhu, Subhashish Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu, Bharat Prabhu, Rajan Prabhu, Rajan Prabhu, Shubham Prabhu, Achyutanand Prabhu, Amitesh Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu, Akash Prabhu, Mohini Mataji, Ravi Prabhu, Jyotiranjan Prabhu, Samiksha Mataji, Deepak Prabhu, Ashwini Mataji. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Samesh Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.